Well, look at this. Civvie's talking about a hot new game. So this game came out. You might have heard of it. It's a Half-Life 2 story, right? You got this evil soldier guy from Black Mesa, but you play as him, and you hunt down Gordon Freeman. After years of development and many delays, it's out. It's $25. Oh, it's on sale for like $21 right now. This thing got $12 on Indiegogo. Allegedly had a shady greenlight campaign involving bots. Allegedly. Also allegedly had some stolen assets, and when I say allegedly, I mean just look at this shit on Steam. God damn. I played this on day one and the cutscenes didn't work. They were really heavily featured in the promotional material, so the game just starts and you pick up a pistol with almost no ammo, and if you don't take a step back first, you won't collect the knife. And you'll need that, because there's not much ammo around, and there's lots of zombies. Let's talk about this heads-up display, which doesn't stay on the screen for all that long, which is cool when you need to know how much health you have and someone isn't shooting you. The ammo counts go away too, unless you're using the Combine Pulse Rifle. It's not ideal. You don't even get the little icons when you pick stuff up like weapons or ammo. So you don't know what you're picking up. I didn't know I had the knife at first or later, these Molotov cocktails. The inventory system is like a loadout where you put these weapons and items in slots, but you can't access them all at once, and you can't use the shotgun and the sniper rifle at the same time because they're in the same slot, and I don't understand why they would do this in the first place. It adds nothing. You get past the zombies and I find this room and I keep looking for a place to go. Is it this door? No. Is it this one? No. These switches and these doors? No. Walk towards this wall-looking thing, and that opens up into what looks like a missile command center. Now, where are your eyes drawn in this room? What is the focal point? As a player, where do you think you should go? Down that ramp? Sure, but there's nothing there. Literally nothing. It's empty space. You're actually supposed to go to the door on the right, and that triggers a cutscene, but some of the cutscenes don't work. The thing that was really standing out in this game, the cutscenes, which is antithetical to how Half-Life games are made anyway, because it's about an unbroken first-person narrative. Yeah, I put this game down for a while because I looked at the Steam page and it said patch within 24 hours, which is not encouraging. Oh boy. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna dust these off here.
Fucking roll!
Let's get into the intro. You are a military guy with a troubled past. Your name is Mitchell.
Who's the puffy guy who's the big blurry sex machine? Mitchell!
And you joined the Marines before going into Black Mesa and getting brutally murdered by Gordon Freeman. But you get better.
Whatever it takes. Whoever it takes. However long it takes before I die. I will fucking kill you.
You won't. That's kind of a given, and if you do, that's the final nail in the coffin for Half-Life 3, am I right? That's my obligatory Half-Life 3 joke for this video. Please like and subscribe for more edgy topical humor. So the G-Man visits you in the hospital and says he wants you to kill Freeman, but not right now. And if the premise of this game is that the mysteriously powerful G-Man is going to send a human Marine in to take care of Gordon Freeman, who was responsible for more Marine deaths than space bugs, including nearly killing the man he's currently recruiting, I know Gordon Freeman is just a theoretical physicist, but there's a reason the G-Man uses him.
Shit. I'm losing too much blood. I need to patch myself up.
It's okay, there's a med pack right there. Oh.
Hey!
Wait! What? Who is this asshole?
I need that med
Can he
kit,
hear
buddy.
me? Why did he just steal that and start running? What a dick. You chase him and he runs into a barnacle and gets killed, so obviously I run right into this trap the first time. Funny story, the game auto-saved me when the barnacle grabbed me, so I just kept reloading into certain death. Yeah, cool, fuck you too.
Fucking roll!
So I restart the level and take the elevator. I have no weapons yet. The name of the game is Outrun the Zombies, which is easy, and they're all really inorganically placed around the map as you run through it. I was stuck for a while because the game led me to this stack of tables that I couldn't move, and I couldn't crouch under. Little did I know, this game doesn't just have crouch, it has something called prone, which is like crouch more, and that's how you get through that. The game doesn't tell you that. So I went around looking for other routes, and the only other door I could open was this office with a dead guy and an untextured keyboard.
Fucking roll!
Hey kids, spoiler alert, that's the only Gordon that's gonna show up in this video. I'm not kidding, Gordon Freeman appears nowhere in this game. But this isn't all just a bad dream, as the cutscene shows, where this guy comes to inform you that the 7-hour war is going on.
An HECU? What are Special Forces doing here?
Wait, hold on.
Anyways, are you alone? Is there anyone else with you?
That's Alex from I Hate Everything. That's a good channel. He does good work. He's playing someone in the United States National Guard because, yeah, sure, fuck me, come on.
There is no easy way to put it, but as far as we know, we're under an alien invasion.
That's a pretty good way of putting it, actually. Concise, informative.
There's no more army. No more military. We're the only ones left.
And by that he means there are a bunch of soldiers outside with unlimited ammo fighting an infinite wave of whatever the holy hell these pumpkin-headed monstrosities are. You don't have to stay here and fight, you just gotta find the right alleyway, and then you're up against 1,000 of those goddamn things by yourself, and their weapons do 1 point of damage, so you can just run past them. I go into this building and I'm like, where do I go now? Maybe one of these open doors. No, not that one. Not that one either. That's an invisible wall. Let's call the elevator and... Oh, it's gonna be like that, is it? I wait for the slowest elevator in the world like in Half-Life 2 Episode 1, except without Alex, and with this shotgun that doesn't have the double-barreled alt-fire, the Half-Life shotgun that was so useful against these running zombies from Ravenholm that the game starts to endlessly spawn along with 10,000 other bullshit zombies that I don't even come into contact with during the fight. You might notice how visually different every map is from the one that came before it, and that's probably because all these different maps are cobbled together without any real cohesion, since they don't even do the thing with the seamless level transitions from Half-Life. You're here, and then you're here, you're in Albuquerque, but then inside this building, and then you take the elevator, and everything is dark. And I mean dark. Just let me whip out the flashlight and... Oh, pressing F doesn't work. I wonder what harebrained scheme they had here where they made the flashlight some other button besides F. That's absurd. That's ridiculous. Let me check the option. There's no flashlight. What I didn't know is that you have to go into your inventory and select the night vision goggles, which you equip like a weapon. Primary fire to put on and secondary fire to take off. Why? It could just be a fucking button, but okay, the game doesn't ever explain this. It's not like you pick something up and wonder, hey, what's that thing? And use it. It's just there. And even when you do pick something up, you don't know what it is because it's not like in Half-Life where you get a picture of what the thing is. Funny story, I paused the game to take down some notes, stop the recording, and then my computer overheated and shut down. My computer is kinda shit, but it's not overheat from a Source Engine game shit. We haven't even gotten to the worst parts. You end up in the canal areas of Albuquerque, which look like the canal areas of City 17. The game likes to do its battles like this. See, it's like a low-rent Serious Sam or Painkiller where it spawns about 10 million enemies, way more than you have the resources to actually deal with, and eventually the exit opens up when you're done being punished for wanting to play a Half-Life game. Before this, it throws 3 hunters at you, these things from Half-Life 2 Episode 2, these bad motherfuckers, and there's this thing that happens with the AI in Source Engine games. The AI needs to close the gap between the monsters and you. And if it can't do that, the monsters just sit there and attack you, unless you're out of range. In the city you meet Adam. Adam's a Black Ops troop. He's not very trustworthy. I don't know. Everyone's evil in this game, it doesn't matter.
So tell me, Mr. Black Ops, why should I trust you? You guys fucked us over at Black Mesa.
Adam.
What?
My name is Adam. And we just followed orders. They sent us to do the job you guys failed to do.
You killed your own people!
Didn't you? By the time we got there, you guys already killed more than half the Black Mesa staff.
That was different.
How? Face it, Mitchell. I did nothing different than you.
Yeah, following orders, Marines kill scientists, you kill Marines, it all worked out in the end, right? Who cares? What we're currently doing in this game is fighting through the 7-Hour War, which is the event that took place between Half-Life 1 and 2 where humanity tried to fight off the Combine and failed spectacularly. You even get a little 24-style ticking clock to show you how far in you are. And it turns out at exactly 7 hours, President Keemstar, yes, President Keemstar,
as your President and Commander-in-Chief, it is with a heavy heart that I'm informing you that we have made a strategic decision.
Says we've surrendered, and you'd think that would be the end of the Combine fighting, but no, it's not.
Those creatures can be many things, but they're not stupid.
Do you know something we don't, Black Ops?
Well, I guess I do.
Well, maybe you should open your mouth and start talking.
The aliens are coming! We've been compromised!
Oh, hey, Pyrocynical. That's 2 British YouTubers playing American soldiers. Cool. Once you meet all these Marines, you start fighting Combine again, and you're in this long tunnel where aliens pour from one end, and you and way too many NPC soldiers shoot aliens, and you don't have to do much. This fight is repeated several times. Once in a tunnel, again in a subway, another time on a ship. It's trash. Oh yeah, also multiply this by 4 and you have the next level on the train platform. Infinitely respawning ammo and health, but god, it's dull. This fucking bell never stops. Then we get to the train level where you get a minigun with infinite ammo, and also it regenerates your health for some reason. And you have to shoot down a random number of gunships. I don't know how it works. It's basically a turret section. There are a lot of those where you're behind a gun, and I guess you can move in this one, but you shouldn't. Unless you stand in the path of the gunships and let them shoot you, they'll destroy the train car you're on. And I gotta laugh out of how you're still on top of it like fucking Wile E. Coyote. You haven't realized you're about to fall. It's good stuff. How do you get out of this level? I don't know exactly. I shot gunships down for like 20 minutes before going back into the train and triggering the end. I don't know why it happened, but whatever, I'll take it. Now comes my favorite part of the whole game, where you're sitting in a gunner seat of a Humvee while also driving that Humvee, and the truck that I'm escorting pushes me into a river. And I reload my game, and it crashes because the save is corrupted, so now I have to go shoot gunships on that fucking train again! And once you're through the desert, it looks like you go directly to the Pacific Northwest, the beautiful, scenic... Oh, hold on.
Is anyone copy? We're stuck in the factory. We need help ASAP.
You guys handle those. I'll go check the factory.
I see a diner here, I see a mechanic, I see... Oh, the factory is all the way down the road and I have to go on foot instead of in the Humvee. Cool. $21 for this game. So the next part of the game ended up being my least favorite because it was completely fucking broken. You go into this warehouse and one of these dicks sets a fire behind you so you can't leave. Not that I didn't try. Okay, here's what we do. We move all these health packs towards the fire, and instead of dying, I'm gonna go through and just keep healing, you know? Nope, I hit the invisible wall. I can't even jump off the roof. So what's next? Well, when a game is this broken and reloading doesn't work and restarting doesn't work, no-clip is where we go. So I no-clip around the map and find even more zombies and head crabs, and then I enter into this parking lot area and it spawns a shitload of these guys who I kill. This is what I'm talking about when I say that these pre-designed levels don't fit the game at all. Because I have to run across this giant parking lot, then around the fenced-off area that's around that parking lot, only to come back where I started, and I think, okay, maybe down this way, but no, that's an invisible wall. So I look around for about half an hour, and guess what? It was totally past that invisible wall. I'm not gonna freak out about this. I'm not.
Let me ask you, is that raw?
This is not personal. This is professional.
I can't fucking go any further!
That is absolute dog shit. I hope you're fucking joking.
Oh my god, that's not painted on the road. That's a white box on top of the road. That's a fucking brush.
Let me communicate something really clear to you.
It's raw!
Come on.
Yeah, it's fucking raw! It's raw!
So now we're at the docks and you get chased by manhacks and hunters. And, it's another hour of me fucking around through a map. You climb a lighthouse for a gunship to blow it up, because you have no way of taking it down or getting out of its way, because these wooden boxes, you can't break the wooden boxes, and you drop into this water, and there's just voids of nothingness and rain underwater, and you have to run around for a long-ass time trying to find out where to go, because there's no hints, no waypoints. You dropped into a giant map getting pounded by endless monsters. I knew from the loading screen I had to get to a ship, but see, the water in this second part starts hurting you even if you're not fucking standing in it.
Welcome aboard, gentlemen. I am Captain Roosevelt. Tell me, who is in charge of all these warriors?
Wait, they're not yours? How did they all get here before me then? Did the game skip a cutscene? Did the NPCs skip a cutscene?
Your name, young man?
I'm Sergeant...
I have no interest in your rank. Your name. Who are you?
Mitchell.
Mitchell. High on the sandwich.
Yes, Mitchell. A name with many meanings. For some, the meaning is a gift from God. For others, who is like God? Which one are you, Mitchell? Are you a gift from God sent to save us? Or perhaps you are God himself, come to doom our worthless lives?
Perhaps.
He's cursed.
This game has some serious problems if I can talk about how bad its audio mixing is.
Whoever is at the top of his command dies. Colonel Q, Sergeant Harvey, they're all dead.
Okay, but you are fighting an overwhelming alien invasion force that took over the world in 7 hours.
That's not a curse. You made a deal with the devil.
Okay, but why? And how the fuck does your ship work after the bridge explodes? And can we talk about Mitchell's scars? Did not Freeman just scratch it with his crowbar? Why? Then we get a lot of exposition over a black screen. Maybe there's a cutscene there that just doesn't work, maybe not, but that black screen in narration lasts for over a minute before a title card that says 3 years later and that you're going to Alaska to City 9. Wait, there are titles now? This is Act 2? Does that say City 17? Aren't we going to City 9 in Alaska? Fucking roll! Hey, check this out. Snow goes on. Snow goes off. Snow goes on. Snow goes off. And if you go into an area they don't want you to, snow goes on. Until you're dead. I had high hopes for this part, but look at these textures, Jesus. Not just that, you spent so much time sprinting to nowhere that I was relieved when antlions started showing up. Not that you can't just sprint past them, but then we get to the snipers, who you can't kill. You just have to avoid them while crossing half the goddamn tundra. But that wasn't enough, because next we get these things. If you hit this searchlight at all, you basically get struck down by the hand of God. This is another level I spent an hour playing, and I tried everything. I could not find where I needed to go. Well, actually, I did, but the game didn't register it. You're supposed to go to this building here, and I did, but nothing happened. So I looked at a walkthrough online and found out that I had to bring up the console, right, and change the level manually, and then I could get inside the building. This is about the time I decided that this game was completely unreleasable and that they should probably pull it from Steam. My money is already lost, but you, the viewer, and the rest of the gaming public can avoid this. This game is fundamentally broken, and not just here. Up to this point, the game crashed at least a dozen times. And not just because I went to the console to try to get the gravity gun and have some fun. This guy has a bunch of children that the Combine enslaved, and you're gonna free them all, Temple of Doom style, except you're just freeing them so they can come onto your ship and become part of a rebel military organization. Not the Resistance, mind you, a completely separate mercenary group. You're basically a warlord kidnapping children. I don't know if that's better. Okay, this Russian guy and his daughter are there, and because he does stuff for the Combine, they let his daughter not be a slave. These characters are important later, I promise. So now over a decade of time passes, this is represented by Mitchell's hair being shorter. They decide since the Combine is finally going to get around to draining the oceans that they should go to City 17. Maybe we might hunt down a Freeman. This is my favorite map in the game because it lasts 10 goddamn seconds.
This is the wrong way.
And you're in City 17, the very first map of Half-Life 2, repurposed. You have no weapons, and the Combine seemingly out of nowhere starts attacking you because the game needs a chase scene. These guys, oh, come on. You can climb certain ledges. Game does not tell you this. What you have to do, though, is you have to holster your weapon first before you can do this. There is a holster weapon command in the options, but it isn't bound to a key. So the developers, not only do they not tell you about that, you can't just find out intuitively. You have to go in the options. Fuck! Also, I gotta mention that you get captured by the Combine. You have to get captured by the Combine. You have to stop and let one of them hit you with their stick. Except this time they catch you and take you to this Russian guy from before, who also made a deal with the G-Man at some point.
I know he sent you. Our mutual friend.
Wait, you know him?
Know him. He offered me a deal, and when I refused to complete his deal, he threatened me with my own daughter.
I'm not alone. I have a ship and an army, and I'm ready to hand over all of it, to be placed under the Combine's command.
That is a rich offer indeed. Please, excuse me for a little while.
Jesus Christ, this game's actually gonna make me wait for this guy to go make a phone call. I'm not kidding, I have to walk around this office for almost a minute before the next cutscene plays.
Thank you for your patience, Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah, fuck you.
Dr. Breen wanted me to inform you that he, along with our collaborators, is impressed by your desire to hunt down Gordon Freeman.
Anyway, they know where Freeman is. He's at Black Mesa East, placing this into the timeline right around when Gordon Freeman gets to Ravenholm in Half-Life 2. You wanna know what this is like? It's a fucking mess. It's a fucking mess, just like the other battle scenes. I get out of Black Mesa East and end up at the top of this elevator, where a double-barreled shotgun flies at me like it's Thor's fucking hammer. That's appropriate. A good double-barreled shotgun could save this game. This one's not bad either. I'm surprised it doesn't take half an hour to reload, and it's way more effective than the other shotgun.
I need a flashlight. It's too damn dark outside.
Oh, okay. Now you're gonna need a flashlight. And he, no joke, duct tapes it to the end of the double-barreled shotgun so that you can't have light unless you're using it. And then it's back to sprinting past zombies at a terrible, unintuitive level where you go through a door that isn't locked as opposed to the 3 others that look just like it that are locked. You keep going and eventually you end up in the graveyard from the end of the Ravenholm chapter of Half-Life 2, but still no Gordon Freeman. You escape into a tomb and... oh boy. Guys, I tried to fix this, I did. I messed with the video settings, I loaded a save, I restarted the game and reloaded the save. The next 4 maps, the lighting is completely broken. Holy shit, this is bad. Like, guys, just look. Just look.
Look! Look! What the fuck is that? Fucking raw!
You shoot a bunch of resistance fighters before you get on a motorcycle that handles like ass, and you drive to Nova Prospect, except driving this motorcycle through this load zone crashes the game. I had to leave the bike and sprint through the tunnel. The next area had 2 motorcycles sitting there, so I didn't really have a problem, which leads me to believe that the developers knew that this was a problem and just didn't fix it. But then I drove into the next map, and it crashed again. So I went through on foot, and it was fine. I'm just playing the game as intended, guys. Are you telling me that your playtesters never went through those tunnels on that fucking bike? Unfortunately, they didn't give me a bike at the start of Nova Prospect, so I had to fucking sprint there. Great. Then Nova Prospect is a long-ass sprint through completely empty and uneventful rooms until you get to that part where Freeman teleports in Half-Life 2, except you just miss him, and the building shakes, and you shake, and you have to navigate out through all of this. Shit, you fall through a pipe and get washed into this void that's supposed to be water outside, but then the cutscene starts, and the Resistance captured you. And you're in a cell in Nova Prospect, and you have to run past these guys because you have no weapons. Russian guy's daughter helps you escape. But then Adam, do you remember Adam? He's back, and he blows her brains out after you've had a very deep discussion about heroes and villains ripped from the pages of a Screenwriting 101 assignment.
And I remember you saving those children. I always saw you as a hero after that day.
Hero? You're talking to a villain, my dear. The hero inside of me died many, many years ago when I was young.
Isn't every villain a hero in their own story?
Not in this one.
But then Adam gets you out, and then he locks you in a tunnel so you can walk out into a completely different area where the G-Man is waiting so he can tell you it was actually Adam who fucked you up in Black Mesa like 15 years ago, on G-Man's orders, so that 15 years later he could get you to City 17, where you were going anyway. But then when you go after Freeman, but what the G-Man really wanted was for Adam to kill that guy's daughter and blame it on you so that the Combine will split their forces going after you, one angry dude who lives on the ocean, and Gordon Freeman. But Gordon Freeman was just in the teleport in Nova Prospect, and according to Half-Life 2, he and Alex are lost for 2 weeks.
I think the teleport exploded just as we were porting out.
Indeed it did, and the repercussions were felt far and wide, but that was over a week ago.
And during that time, the insurrection in City 17 happens. And so the Combine are going to have their hands full with that, I think, so that they're splitting their forces up to go after Freeman, and Freeman isn't fucking there. He's lost in teleport limbo for 2 more weeks. That makes this entire thing completely fucking pointless. We're here finally. It's the last level, but don't think they won't drag it out. You enter this door and you're magically teleported to this completely different area, and you have to fend off Combine for 15 minutes so that Alex from I Hate Everything can come and rescue you.
We'll be there in 15 minutes.
15? I don't think I can survive that long.
Look, you have to, Mitchell. Set some defenses. Be smart.
I'll try my best.
Good luck, old friend. God be with you.
I know what you're saying, man.
God be with you.
And I have to put that in. It's not a choice. You can take care of the Combine down here with these turrets pretty easily. and you have to set up turrets downstairs, but they won't help with the 1 and then 2 and then 3 snipers that you have no way to kill and who will always hit you. But I don't care, I have God mode. We're almost done, and I just stopped and sat in this room here while all this was happening, making notes for the video, running the timer down, and out of curiosity, I wonder why I'm not getting flooded with soldiers and shot at, and it looks like the turrets downstairs are working. But no, it's not that. These soldiers aren't coming through the doorway. They took one of them out, but they can't seem to get in. But there's this one turret I placed that isn't actually doing anything. It's not firing at the Combine at all, and they're still not coming in. Once the clock runs out, the level fades out, and the last cutscene plays, and it's not too bad up to a point. It's kind of a cool oh shit moment when Adam sees that Mitchell's alive, but then Mitchell just kills Adam in a cutscene.
Mitch, please.
You betrayed me. You used me. You fucked up my face. And now...
Mitch, please. I can explain.
You have my permission to die.
G-Man flashes in and out because he's the architect of this thing that I charitably call a plan, and Mitchell is like...
Turn the ship. We're going to Borealis.
For those of you who are watching and you don't know what the Borealis is, well, it's a big ship from Aperture Laboratories, you know, the Portal guys, and it mysteriously disappeared because of experimental technology, and you hear about it when Dr. Mossman is looking for it in Half-Life 2 Episode 2, but my question is, how the fuck does Mitchell know about it? How would he possibly know about that? This was something so important to the Resistance that we can assume Gordon and Alex were going after it after the events of Episode 2. And Gordon and Alex are still going to be lost for another 2 weeks. And how does he know about it? How does he know where it is? Wait, hold on. There's still more. I was almost finished with this shit, then I found out that there was a secret ending. I missed it because I didn't even think to die in the last level. I took some advice from someone I trusted.
God be with you.
It bit me right in the ass. And I didn't die, which, honestly, with those snipers I would have. I guess Mitchell deserved to die so I could catch this sweet ending here.
What the fuck?
Okay, we're gonna get in some Rick and Morty shit here, meaning you're gonna think a terrible person on a comedy show has smart and insightful opinions about science and philosophy. But here's what I think. I think we're looking at Gordons from parallel dimensions, and when I said Gordon didn't appear in this game, now I really look like an asshole because there's 7 of him. That's at least 5 more Gordons than I was expecting. This one, he died in the test chamber. This guy eaten by a bull squid shortly after the experiment. This one got killed by one of these tentacles. This one, also a tentacle. This dude blew up in a microwave accident shortly before the experiment. This one fell off the side of a cliff. This other one got past the first platforming sections in Zen and killed himself. But this isn't the main attraction, kids, because while this is dumb and makes no sense, we also have this.
Adrian?
We didn't just get Freeman, we got Adrian Shepard from Half-Life Opposing Force, who I guess is also Mitchell's long-lost brother. He was in the first cutscene, but I didn't think it was important because it was never mentioned again. What an idiot I am. It's Adrian Shepard, who isn't a fucking character because he's a silent protagonist with no definable traits. You know what Adrian Shepard's face looks like? It looks like a fucking gas mask. It's hideous. Mitchell is listed in the credits as Mitchell Shepard. I just assumed Mitchell was his last name. I'd say this was sequel bait, but I think they should finish this game first. And also hunt down the Shepard? He's right there. Game over. You shouldn't have released this. It's broken, it's nonsensical, it's cobbled together from 100 different places without any thought towards making it cohesive. It's like Freddy Krueger, it's the bastard son of 100 maniacs. Even if you fix the bugs, there are deliberate design decisions in this game that are implemented as intended, like the terrible and completely unbalanced combat sections, the meandering and unintuitive levels. It is inexcusable to sell a game that actually requires me to cheat in order to complete it. And I'm not even talking about God mode. I'm talking about no clipping through invisible walls because the scripting is broken, or having to change the maps to the console, or the entire lighting system shitting itself for a few maps. Didn't Valve play this? What the fuck was Valve doing? This is the worst thing I've ever played for this fairly young channel, but by God, it deserves the fires of hell for charging money for this shit.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel.
It's finally time to finish what I started with Hunt Down the Freeman. You guys remember how Doom changed everything, and everything after Doom was a Doom clone. Well, that's the thing that kept going for like 5 years, even Quake suffered from it. Its software was unstoppable. They'd even moved out of DOS. There was WinQuake, but more importantly, I remember getting a copy of Doom 95 with Final Doom. That image there scared the fucking pants off a child, Civvie. Doom 95 was a new thing using the other new thing at the time, DirectX, and the team at Microsoft that was priming the pump for Bill Gates to put on a trench coat in front of a nuclear plant.
These games are getting really realistic.
That team was headed by a Microsoft employee by the name of Gabe Newell, a Harvard dropout and presently a patron saint of PC gaming, allegedly inspired by another Microsoft employee named Michael Abrash, who helped id Software develop the Quake engine. Listen, I think Gaben might be the only person who could defeat engineering elemental and Luddite nemesis John Carmack. Gabe Newell partnered with another future ex-Microsoft employee, Mike Harrington, and founded a little company you may have heard of called Valve. Valve's first game was Half-Life. I think I once said in one of those old videos that may or may not share the current timeline, I don't know, that Doom was the Citizen Kane of video games, a claim I would like to walk back if I ever made it in the first place. Doom is more like the technical cinematic breakthroughs of the 1910s, like Birth of a Nation, except instead of all the... oh no. Instead of all that, it's wholesome demon fighting. Half-Life is closer to the Citizen Kane of gaming. It is a critical mass, a point of no return, where narrative in video games was changed forever. Citizen Kane experimented with telling stories from several perspectives, each one having a different and possibly unreliable narrator, which would lead to other movies taking influence, like Rashomon, and if I bored you with all this basic film theory bullshit, we can always talk about how that killed Doom likes for almost 20 years. I held a grudge against Half-Life for a long time because it did that. Half-Life isn't a bad game, it's pretty good actually, and it has really cool, inventive set pieces that blew everyone away at the time, and a lot of the stuff holds up. But I know what you guys want. You want that pro Half-Life. So here, we're playing the Steam version, not Half-Life Source. No, we're not doing that. This is just plain old Half-Life, similar to the version I would have played back in like 1999, except in a decent resolution. And it's hard to explain what seeing this for the first time was like. Imagine how an FPS game starts, right? Doom. Duke Nukem 3D.
Let's rock. Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
Quake. Quake 2.
Establish communications. We are the Alpha. 80%
There's death or an explosion within the first minute. Not here. We have credits. A train ride that seems to go on forever, which may seem boring now, but all this shit happening, all this world building, there's a robot here carrying boxes, there's guys running around, the sun is peeking through the rocks. That motherfucker who hit all those Revenants in Plutonia worked on this. What Half-Life had wasn't so much a game director, it was something they called the Cabal. Barney, yes, Barney, is locked out. No one had done this, and even if they had, it certainly wasn't an unbroken first-person narrative, and oh shit, who's that guy in the suit? We didn't know, we kept seeing him, and we had no idea. This was another day on the job for Gordon Freeman, MIT graduate, lab assistant, disaster response discretionary. I always liked that touch, because of what was coming next.
Thank you, and have a very safe and productive day.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
Oh god, that's HD Barney. Hold on. We're turning the HD models that came with Blue Shift off. Oh. Hello, Randy. Perhaps another time your grease will seep into this show, but not today. Whew, that's better. Play the hazard course, Civvie. Why?
Hello and welcome to the Black Mesa Hazard Course, where you will be trained in the use of the hazardous environment suit.
Fine, here's the hazard course. It teaches you how to crouch jump. Crouch jumping is important. I don't know how someone would do this in real life, but it's important to know for Half-Life, and only Half-Life, and Postal, I guess.
Lead a security guard into the next room. He will let you back into the transit system. Security guard. And press the use key again.
Oh no, the security guards mysteriously died. I guess I have to play the game untrained now.
Hey, Mr. Freeman.
Excuse me, I'm a doctor.
My God, what are you doing? Come on, Gordon. You trying to get me into trouble?
You have no idea. Oh man, if you're the Barney that lives through this, we're gonna have some laughs later on. I'm playing this on hard, which people warned me about, and in retrospect, I understand why they warned me. The enemies are a bit spongy, but I've played a decent amount of Sven co-op, so I'm used to that. And also, I've played Half-Life for 20 years. I know this game almost like the back of my hand. I can list the chapter names in order from memory, and not just because I played it so many times, but because something memorable happens in each one.
Weren't you supposed to be in the test chamber half an hour ago?
Yeah, I know. I'm delaying the near apocalypse and invasion of a totalitarian alien race. That second part we didn't even know about until 6 years later. Oh man, the memories. Grab your suit, listen to that music, go into your locker for a little HEV suit power, and on hard, I mean a little. And look, there's one of Mark Laidlaw's books. That guy who wrote this series before they... Oh god, don't even get me started on where this shit went. I'd have to get into Half-Life Alyx, and we do not have that kind of time. Time, Civvie? What? No, not now. Sleep. Have you ever wanted to share a house with your favorite YouTuber? Get to know them inside and out, their dirty little secrets, their weird sex things? Well, you won't have to worry about that anymore when you sign up to Civvie's, my OnlyFans. Now with Private Blog, you'll get to know me inside and out. What did I have for breakfast? Do I take my coffee with a shot of espresso and then amphetamines? Do I have Funko Pop vinyl stuffed into my underwear? It turns out I'm just like you. Let's have the beer! Sometimes I get this feeling that half the time I'm not here, my stuff gets moved, the bucket's full again, and I didn't do that. I know what's wrong, and none of you are doing anything about it! You guys remember when Duke Nukem Forever tried this whole long intro to set the scene thing? And it sucked? So, you know, you're running around, you destroy this poor bastard's lunch.
My God, what are you doing?
You fuck with the soda machines. The thing about Half-Life's design is that it takes as much from Quake as it does from Duke Nukem 3D. It's a bit more grown up, though. Instead of giving money to strippers and prostitutes, you're interacting with boring stuff, but it's still interaction.
These games are getting really realistic.
And that's something that Quake didn't really do. It's a little disingenuous to say that Gold Source, the engine powering Half-Life, is just Quake, because it goes far beyond. So far beyond that these little loading screens that show up instead of end-level stats that make a seamless transition between areas, these loading screens were a necessity because while Quake could have these giant-ass castles, Half-Life wasn't just brushwork, it was models, interactive elements, NPCs, scripting, moving parts. So they had all of this stuff done in 1997, and they wanted to release this game to compete with Quake 2, but then they threw everything out. Oh, this is so raw, it's not even funny. It feels just like Quake. Look at the ass on that head crab. Oh, it's an instant kill. Cool. Okay, that checks out. Yeah, I can see why they threw this away. So, the thing about learning the wrong lessons from Half-Life. Linear games made up of set pieces are not themselves bad. Half-Life is dropping you into the shoes of Gordon Freeman as he goes about his normal day at work. Duke Nukem Forever is a sequel to a game about killing aliens in the first 2 minutes, and it spends half an hour pissing around. Yeah, okay, there's a Cycloid Emperor fight first, but that sucks. It's barely a fight. Oh, forget it, I don't care anymore.
They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber.
I'm afraid we'll be deviating a bit from standard analysis procedures today, Gordon.
Yes, but with good reason. This is a rare opportunity for us. This is the purest sample we've seen yet.
And, potentially, the most unstable.
Now, if you follow standard insertion procedures, everything will be fine.
Why does Einstein here look like he's had a stroke? Oh god, we used to call him Einstein before he became Dr. Coomer. Not that I'm complaining, it was earned.
I don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is extremely unlikely.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional.
My God, what are you doing? Gordon, we have complete confidence in you.
Well, go ahead. Let's let him in now.
Stage 2 emitters activating now.
Gordon, we cannot predict how long the system can operate at this level, nor how long the reading will take. Please, work as quickly as you can. Standard insertion for a non-standard specimen. Go ahead, Gordon. Slot the carrier into the analysis port.
Hey, are you sure you want me to do this? You know, I used to push shopping carts at a grocery store, and I didn't have to go to MIT to do that shit.
Get away from them!
Shutting down. No. Shut down. It's not shutting down. It's not.
Oh, look, everything's, yeah, this was mind-blowing in 1998, okay? This changed everything. Everybody's dead, and it's at this point that I really need to express that a game about a science experiment going wrong with monsters being teleported in is not exactly new. But no one had told it like this. You're in the dark for another couple of levels just trying to survive. This was like a new feeling, a new emotion introduced into FPS games, and games in general. I can't undersell it, and I'm not sure anyone has captured it again. Not even Valve. Alright, you two, come with me. I know the way. Actually, I don't need to know the way. It's pretty hard to get lost in this game. It's basically a straight shot to the Lambda Labs.
This is as far as I can.
First thing you should do is go back to the locker room and get that HEV suit charge again, and the ammo in this locker for the pistol you picked up when this guy died, because you're playing on hard, and the headcrab zombie's fucking hurt now.
Of course, man. What the hell are these things? And why are they wearing science team uniforms?
You can save ammo because they telegraph their attacks, but you don't have to feel bad about killing Barney, not that I ever did. Oh, here's Dario Casali's locker. I wonder what's in here. Oh, God. The game quickly teaches you how to play it. You have to shoot things, you have to break things with the crowbar. Scientists are going to die no matter what you do, usually because of unsafe elevator design, which is why we spend so much time traveling in the vents, I assume. The other scientists will be glad to help you along the way.
I'm sure the rest of the science team will gladly help you. I'm going to stay here and wait for my colleagues. You're going to have to leave me here, Gordon.
I'm not saying that the scientists are more of a burden than anything, but there are 2 Half-Life mods I can list off the top of my head that are about remorselessly murdering them.
Sorry, I'm leaving now.
Early on, after you face your first hound eyes, yeah, those things, they're weak, don't worry about them. Anyway, you go up here, and this guy will let you into an armory where you'll get your first grenades. 1 grenade is actually 5 grenades, which I assume is some kind of Russian nesting doll situation. But they give you 15 and you max out at 10. So, yeah, okay, I guess I have to try them out. That guy wasn't gonna climb down a ladder. So many set pieces, so many memorable moments, and some of them I just hate. Like this elevator where it keeps spawning head crabs. We'll just duck this shit and move on. The first level introduces you to a few of Half-Life's legendary monsters, and some of them make it through into Half-Life 2 and beyond. Head crabs, naturally, head crab zombies and hound eyes we've already seen. And now we've got the bull squids, and while they're tanky on hard, it's easy to avoid their attacks. And when you get down here, the game purposefully shows off one of its fun little tricks with the AI. The bull squids hate head crabs too. Oh, and barnacles. Let's not forget barnacles. Is that all you got? And the first sewer of the game. Vortigaunts, that's right. Before they were your friends with the angelic voice of Tony Todd, they were nasty little shambler wannabes. Yes, they are shamblers. Shut the fuck up. They are 100% shamblers, except weaker. Lightning attack? Check. Melee attack? Check. So maybe shaved shamblers. Yeah, that's it. Shamblers are furry, goddammit, and I will die on this hill. Platforming. We all love it, especially in first person on a janky. Oh yeah, don't tell me Half-Life 1 isn't janky. We'll see more of that going forward. I've done this crate thing so many times, you can just walk over most of these. Office complex is, well, you get the shotgun here, if you're really looking for it, and you get an obscene amount of ammo if you save Barney.
That'll look nice in my trophy room.
It's a good shotgun. It's not Doom good, but it's good enough. It sounds nice and it reliably murders things. The scientists are still hopeless.
I just overheard a secure access transmission. Soldiers have arrived and they're coming to rescue us. Of course, I have my doubts if I live long enough to greet them.
Is this how Cassandra felt, knowing that all these motherfuckers are doomed? And that they'd be ruled over by the Combine and some absolute prick manager who presided over Black Mesa during this shit and failed upwards to running City 17? I remember when Half-Life came out and there were ads for it in gaming magazines. Run, think, shoot, live. I mean, the AI at the time was impressive unless it was scripted. Now, from a gameplay perspective, it's awesome that the designers let you know that there was a turret there. Still, these goddamn scientists are useless.
Freeman, I see you were in this mess.
Hell yeah, brother, this is my favorite part of the level. Good thing the Vortigaunts are a forgiving bunch.
Experience of humanity was a crowbar coming at them down a steel corridor.
You doomed the planet for reasons I can't understand, you fucking Jeffrey Combs-looking interdimensional slick-back oily hard-on. Reloading was such a novelty at the time. Games did it occasionally, but not for every single gun unless you were Marathon. Half-Life's weapons aren't the star of the show, and I'd argue there's probably too many of them that are novelty weapons. We'll get to it when we have the hive hand, the snarks, you know. Oh, by the way, spoilers for Half-Life. If you haven't played Half-Life, I assumed that's why all of you wanted a Half-Life video, right? You needed me to tell you if this 22-year-old game was any good, right?
Ah, it's good to see you.
Yes, it's always funny. I gotta ride this here meat wagon and get into a vent. Oh, wait a second. This guy, this fucking head crab right here always used to get me. Hey, Civvie, did you know about that secret way through the vents in Office Complex where you can get to that room with all the ammo?
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out! Oh my God, we're doomed!
Oh boy, I hope you were all enjoying Half-Life because it's time for the game to bring the hammer down. Everything up until now has been nothing compared to what comes next. So the scientists have heard some whispers about soldiers who have come to rescue everyone, you know, after setting fucking traps with tripwires and gun turrets and really inconvenient monster teleports that can fuck right off. We gotta talk about the apex predators of Half-Life, where all that fancy AI went. The Hazardous Environment Combat Unit, the Grunts.
Bravo Force reports.
Last, thank God.
They're not all so easy. See, he was supposed to shoot this scientist in order to show the player that they're hostile. Now, don't think I can't deal with them. I mean, come on, I've been playing this game forever, so let's humiliate these pricks. Look, Adrian, ropes! You can use those to get your brains eaten. Okay, there's always this part. And the one right after when they rope down from the Osprey. Oh, fuck, that's so hard. Right after that is one of the level design decisions I actually hate in this game, which is the fucking vents that go practically nowhere above this fan that'll insta-kill you if you touch it, and if you have to ride the ladder just right to avoid it. And why would they even drop down in here? What's the point? Drop a bomb down or something. Call in an airstrike. These vents lead you to some supplies, and it wraps around to earlier parts of the map, which is cool, I guess, but the whole vent thing is so slow.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Now look, if anyone can end this catastrophe, it's the science team in the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base. With the transit system out, I couldn't tell you how to get there. But there's an old decommissioned rail system somewhere through here, beyond the silo complex.
Cool, no, that's fine, I wasn't busy. Just let me fucking run all the way across this base that's infested with invading aliens and bloodthirsty jarheads while I'm wearing a color that's meant to be easily seen and identified. Why not just paint a target on me and be done with it?
If you can make it through the rocket test labs, you might be able to worm your way through the old tunnels to track down whatever's left of the Lambda team.
Oh yeah, okay, sure, what could possibly go wrong?
Destroy the damn thing before it grows any larger.
That's terrible advice, dog shit awful, because you only have to be relatively quieter than an explosive. So we nade around the ladders and the doorways to clear a path, go through our second sewer, ride that giant fan, pump in the fuel and the oxygen, drop down again, run off over here, foolishly believe that an elevator in Black Mesa is gonna work and not kill you. Deal with whatever this shit is.
This is my hiding spot, and I'm not leaving until the situation is drastically improved.
Oh, yeah? I got some bad news. The situation isn't gonna drastically improve for like 25 years. Jump through electrified water, cause I ain't pushing those boxes around. Fuck you, Valve.
I hate Valve puzzles.
Slip by the tentacles like I've done a million times before. Hi, Barney. Bye, Barney. I'm gonna assume you put this barnacle here so you can have fun getting cooked next to this really unfortunately placed crate of explosives, and voila, hentai averted. Now, normally I'd be pissed to have to go through all that, but the game rewards you with its best weapon. Don't come at me with that what about the Tau cannon or busted makes me feel good. No, this Magnum is a godsend. Half-Life isn't known for great weapons, but this sniper hand cannon is the most valuable thing in the game. Headshotting grunts, picking off most things with a couple well-placed shots. That weird fucking barrel that they made for it because it didn't look right from the angle they made it, but it still always looked weird to me. Katie, drop a Beetlejuice, please, and thank you. Oh yeah, you guys got this. Have fun. If you enjoyed the last level where you had to run around a bunch of different areas hitting switches so you can kill a giant boss that's immune to gunfire, get ready to do that again. I always thought placing power up here was weird, like it seems like you're just doing the same thing again, But like, the Gargantua isn't immune to explosives or the Tau cannon or the gluon gun, but we don't have those yet, so we gotta lead him into this generator room to zap him into guacamole, or else he burns you the fuck down. The Gargantua isn't the problem though, cause these grunts are back. Did you miss them? Cause I didn't. Now I've got grenades for the SMG, and satchel charges, and the Magnum. Having these things now makes you appreciate them more, which is a little thing I like to call Valve blueballing. Valve wants you to appreciate these things, which is why they don't give them to you as soon as you need them. They make you wait. We'll come back to this. This is a major feature of Valve games, or at least Half-Life games. Remember how much time you spent in Half-Life 2 without a shotgun? Do you fucking remember?
Here, brother! Come closer. You've stirred up hell. A man after my own heart. Here, I have a more suitable gun for you. You'll need it. Catch! Good. Now, keep it close. My advice to you is, aim for the head.
Okay, so a basement has to get unflooded, and the military is protecting it for some reason. They're dug in like an Alabama tick. I know their fucking tricks. I can hear them coming down the elevator.
These games are getting really realistic.
What was I doing? Oh yeah. Hey, get over here. Am I the only one who's read the goddamn script?
Freeman, I've been waiting for you. One of your scientist pals said to give you a message. You're supposed to take this old rail system up to some kind of satellite delivery rocket.
Oh, here we fucking go.
He said something about a Lambda team needing the satellite in orbit if they were ever going to clean up this mess.
I love that line because they do not clean up this mess. Welcome to On a Rail, the first of Half-Life's bad chapters. Fuck on a rail. Even if the phrase itself, on a rail, is reminiscent of running someone out of town on a rail, the idea is that you, the player, is in a situation that pushes you in a very specific direction. One way. And there's a quote from Max Payne 2 that always summed this up for me really well.
A funhouse is a linear sequence of scares. Take it or leave it is the only choice given. Makes you think about free will.
On a Rail is a bad level, but a good metaphor. See, in Half-Life, you get the sense that there's someone behind the scenes pulling the strings, making sure you're led by the nose to a predetermined outcome. Remember when I said that game developers after Half-Life took the wrong lessons from Half-Life? The game's linearity isn't just something they threw together, it's calculated, it's actually thematically relevant. Imagine that. See what happens when you hire writers? Nah, but On a Rail still sucks. Stuck on this train, ambushed at every turn, it does show off the AI fighting each other, HECU versus aliens, that's cool. Maybe I'm jaded from playing Half-Life so much, like I know when something shitty is coming, so it ruins everything leading up to it. Oh, there's turrets, surprise! This dick has a rocket launcher, duck under it. The train is made of brushes, so it's rocket-proof. Sometimes I'm not even sure what the damage is doing on hard, but if more than one Vord is blasting, you might as well call it a death. And then there's cool moments like this, where you see a trap they planted and one stray bullet fucks them over. So much of this level is stop and go, trap after trap after trap. Like, I understand what a combat puzzle is, but this whole section feels like it lasts forever. Until...
So, who is this guy, Freeman? They say he was at Ground Zero. Science team? You think he was responsible? Sabotage, maybe? Yeah, maybe. All I know for sure is he's been killing my buddies. Oh yeah, he'll pay.
Oh yeah, he'll pay. And whoever put this sniper in here, fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking Cabal. It sucks because usually when not playing on hard, one explosive gets the job done. But they have just that much more health so that it doesn't. Okay, launch a rocket, we're good, everything is gonna be fixed, and I'm sure that nothing of consequence will happen in the next more than half of this game. This section picks right back up, because the designers were so sick of being on a train that it crashes into the water. Yes, this is the water level.
Did you see it? They said it was hauled from the Challenger Deep, but I'm positive that beast never swam in terrestrial waters until a week ago.
Whatever, to fight this thing, you need to grab the crossbow, the game's sniper rifle, and one of the 3 weapons that does a goddamn thing underwater. Why does the pistol work underwater? Why? After the underwater shenanigans, and then more of those, with slippery water shit and whatever, the game expects me to jump through these crushers, which absolutely belong here and have a purpose, but I'm gonna solve this with science. Thankfully, Apprehension introduces more new things to Half-Life, unlike On a Rail, but I guess a bad Half-Life level was new at the time.
Freeman, right? I've got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
Here's the assassins, which are like HECU grunts except motherfucking ninjas. You think I'm scared of them? They're getting nades to the semi-invisible face. Yeah, on hard they go invisible sometimes. It's just mean. Thankfully you can hear them moving or shooting you. Sorry, ladies. And then, after you've, survived this game for a few hours against insurmountable odds, the lights go out after some evil level designer teases you with a health station that I didn't even need, and I get sucker punched and thrown into a trash compactor.
I see it. Where are we taking this Freeman guy? Topside for questioning. What the hell for? We got him. Let's kill him now. And if they find the body? Body? What body?
You guys should have put a bullet in Freeman's head first, right? Duh, but no, they don't, so you survive, escape the compactor, and we're right back into a bad Half-Life level. Residue processing, the worst Half-Life level that isn't. So all your weapons are gone, and you're dumped out into the desert with a crowbar and inconveniently spawning head crabs. You get to do a bunch of shitty platforming. Hey look, I can tell this pipe is gonna break because of the Z fighting. Yeah, good job. Residue processing is one big sewer, and I don't care what anyone says, sewer count 173. Say this part from the script. Say sewer count. Funny joke. Honk honk. I've played Half-Life all the way through approximately 900 times, and I'll never know where the fuck I'm supposed to go on these conveyor belts. Not exactly, I just remember that I'm looking for a trip bomb, and that I have to burn. And then, if you fall off because your momentum is all fucked up from being on the conveyor belts, because that's how that fucking works. Wait, heat lamps, I get it now! This is a Wendy's! Oh cool, it's that level where it turns out that Black Mesa has been experimenting on these alien creatures already because, surprise, the teleporter experiments that aren't really directly related to the resonance cascade. Hey look, other aliens that are clearly hostile and turn people into zombies, let's bring those back. Who was fucking funding this place? Congress? Nah, this level's good, because you get the Tau cannon. You know, after fighting a bunch of soldiers and the alien grunts, not to be confused with the other grunts, who have armor that'll basically ignore small arms damage. And their dumb bullshit homing bees attack, and I don't even like the hive hand when I get it, same with snarks. What opens up here, though, you get more of that three-way battle, you versus aliens versus the military. Right, I was talking about the Tau cannon, which has the best introduction of any weapon in the game.
What is this thing? Is it some kind of weapon?
Put that down. It's a prototype.
Man, why aren't we using it?
It's much too unpredictable. Don't let it overcharge.
What do you mean, overcharge?
You can overload the thing with the secondary fire, so don't do that. And before I even get the chance to do some fancy jumps with it... Oh god, that's right, it's only in multiplayer now. That's bullshit. Thanks, Gabe.
We all have retinal scanner access. Escort us to the lobby, and we can get out of the lab.
We'll have to shut down the surgical unit first. Peter switched it on, but I'm afraid he never made it back.
Oh, Civvie, no, don't go in there and get killed in a funny way, not a chance.
Well, I'll let you know, but I'm warning you, it's hell out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Welcome to hell. This is it. The most brutal, most difficult section of Half-Life, the pinnacle of Valve grinding you into the dirt. This is that level. One ball-busting set piece after another. That scientist said you're supposed to get into the Lambda complex, but that's secondary when you're talking about this level's objective. What it's really about is getting a rocket launcher, and this is where Valve's blue balling really comes into play. You spend half of this nightmare getting chased by a helicopter, which I think you could shoot down if you have enough Tau cannon ammo, which I didn't save because I needed to jib some soldiers. As soon as you get to the dam, you know, the third room of this gauntlet, there's the helicopter ready to shred you. Jump off the dam over here to be greeted by the overly tanky on hard ichthyosaur in the water, and if you surface, you die. And if you stay under there, you die. It takes 3 to 4 hits from the crossbow on normal to kill one of these things, and I think 5 on hard, so if you miss once, you have to go through the slowest reload of any weapon in the game, or switch to the pistol and try your luck. I hate it. Climb the ladder so you can get some health back. Turn off the turbine so you can go under the dam where it makes you sit there and turn this wheel and fucking drown. And once you're through that, you still got a minefield to navigate. You guys could probably airstrike that tentacle away, but no. No, that's a lower priority than the MIT graduate. The man is a theoretical physicist. This is that one level where every part gives you trouble, burns its way into your brain. After the minefield is the cliff section, narrow ledges, forced falling damage, inconveniently placed soldiers that you have to snipe. On any skill, surface tension is a giant pain in the ass, but at least at the end of this section you can finally blow up that helicopter. Oh, who put this turret here? Was it you, Kasali? But imagine playing this in 1998. Because I remember what it was like. In a genre where rocket launchers were fairly straightforward, having a laser-guided missile was kind of a novelty. And the first time you try it, you'll have no idea how this thing is gonna work. But you better find out quick, because that helicopter ain't going away. Oh, but that helicopter isn't even the worst part. No, it's the ladders. Now, ladders are a bit finicky in Gold Source. Notoriously so, in fact. So having only a tiny little bit of space to get on one sucks. And then there's another one above it with even less space. And if you finally reach the pipe... Oh, son of a bitch! And once you're through with that, no more helicopters. No, they roll the tanks in. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's not as elegant as modern Major General, but it'll have to do. I admire surface tension in a way because most of the level is things just getting worse and worse. I don't think it gets worse than the warehouse, though. This is Half-Life, so you will never get in through the front door. There must be something awfully important in there for them to secure the perimeter with mines and snipers, and some generator that's electrifying all the stuff around it because despite your punny science titles, Half-Life, shit don't be like that.
You're heading for the Lambda complex, aren't you? I was heading there myself until I wound up here and, well, simply lost my nerve. Take one look through that door and you'll see what I mean.
How bad could it be? I'm not even mad that the warehouse is booby-trapped so thoroughly that one misstep causes it to explode. I was really mad about it 20 years ago. Okay, go in. Kill the head crabs before they trigger one of the trip mines. Break this one box because if you raise this elevator, the box sets off a trip mine. Remember, crouch jumping is your friend. Raise the elevator, jump onto the other elevator, and then leave this cursed place. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh look, the hive hand. Hello and goodbye. Save Barney, why not? He helps a little.
A little damage, but I can make it.
I saw the shot that I made with the weapon that isn't useless. I know there's a turret in this truck. Black Mesa is a full-on war zone now. This part with the alien ship dropping grunts only to get airstriked and then another tank? I have to say this again, in 1998, nobody was prepared for this. I don't care if you drove a tank in GoldenEye, nothing had come out that was like a blockbuster. Every step in this level requires you to be paranoid. The tank is dead, but there's a sniper. The sniper is dead, but there are grunts inside. And you just walk up to Barney and he's like,
"Hey, Gordon, let's get the hell out of here."
Yeah, great, Barney, open the fucking armory. I don't know why there's ammo for experimental energy weapons in here, but okay. Let's not forget to top off those missiles. Starting with Half-Life, there was a distinct sense that you needed to take everything you could in this area because you weren't ever going to come back here. Okay, I know how this goes. Nope. In all this commotion, you might not have noticed that surface tension is still going on. And it keeps going, and going, and going. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it this time. This motherfucker isn't gonna get away with his satchel chucking nonsense today. Fuck you and your scripting, Half-Life. Finally, we get to the last of the surface tension set pieces. This is why Half-Life is so well remembered. Hold on, Heck yeah, Dungeoneers, we're playing Half-Life, the best game ever. And if this video gets 100,000 likes, I'll release the Half-Life 2 video on Friday. No, Katie, don't let it say that. Don't let him do this to the kids, Katie.
Do it, Katie.
He's gonna ruin us, Katie.
Link the OnlyFans, Katie.
Stop!
We're under New Mexico. Come and see us, kiddos. We'll hang out in deathmatch.
You know, I think we've seen a drop of clowns in games. People just can't handle them.
Oh my god! It's Killing Time from Studio 3DO! So you could probably down this gargantua with the rocket launcher or other explosives, or even the Tau cannon, but you're supposed to use the airstrike, which is cool in a totally unexpected kind of environmental interactivity. This was really the level where Valve was throwing everything at the wall, the real climax of Half-Life. Yup, every time. Forget about Freeman, or I guess we can't call this surface tension anymore since we went underground. Oh, right. Really, there isn't much to this chapter. You're basically at the Lambda Lab and fuck! That is the shittiest place to put a turret, and I'm blaming Dario Casali. Half-Life is out of tricks. You get more assassins before going into the Lambda complex, and this encounter is way worse. Not just because I'm low on health, because right before this I was dealing with all of the alien grunts, and between then and now there was one health station, and we're on hard. Health stations give you only 25 health. Yeah, that's not fun. A scientist lets me in, explains I have to start the reactor on my way up to the teleporter labs, and gives me something for the pain.
I can give you something for the pain?
Yeah, scientists can give you a health boost worth 25. That's right, a whole health station packed into one of these little syringes with a strange green liquid that the scientists carry on them at all times. What is that?
I built the gluon gun, but I just can't bring myself to use it on a living creature.
Oh no?
You don't look as if you have any trouble killing things.
I don't have any trouble killing things, but I don't want to waste energy ammo on head crabs. Oh, just... Whoever decided that the aliens needed to respawn in this level, go away forever, lose your job, assuming you were even employed by Valve or that Valve technically employs people. I assume it's like Gabe Newell's chocolate factory, and even then he can't murder more than 2 kids. This is what you guys are here for, right?
We suspect there is an immense portal over there, created by the intense concentration of a single powerful being. You will know it when you see it. I hate to say this, Gordon, but you must kill it if you can.
Yeah, you'd better kill it.
Of course, you owe us nothing, Mr. Freeman, but you've come this far. You know as much about these creatures as anyone.
Enough to know that if you don't wipe it out, there won't be much for you to come home to.
Yes. So...
And then they tell you that you gotta go over to the border world to stop the alien that's controlling this invasion, and that will save the Earth, and guess what? It fucking doesn't, because Half-Life 2 happens. I mean, I guess the Earth is intact, and there are still people on it, but I feel like the HECU was doing just fine against most of the invading aliens.
You got to get out of here! Listen to me, Shepard! Those things! They'll kill all of us!
Okay, here's the rule. If it makes me look like an idiot, it's not canon.
Don't linger, Mr. Freeman. You turned on the pumps. Now take the access pipe, plug the core, and get on up to the labs without delay.
Good, you think you're safe and alive? You're already dead, everybody. You're dead already. This whole place, everything you see is gone.
Anyway, you stock up, you get your...
This, Mr. Freeman, is a long jump module created expressly for navigation in the world beyond.
The world beyond. Huh, it makes it sound like heaven.
Hello, Freeman. I'm up here. Practice your long jump if you must, but hurry up.
Fight the alien controllers, another enemy made way too tanky on hard so that the challenge isn't the shitty homing projectiles, it's dumping half a cylinder of magnum ammo into their heads to take them down. I feel like the Tau cannon is a better and more efficient method of dealing with them than the gluon gun. I know what you want. You want that Freeman, you fool.
Freeman, you fool!
And I was gonna do that until the scientists got killed.
Almost there, Freeman. Get yourself in position.
I didn't even realize he could get killed. See, I never felt the need to play this game on hard, so he's never died on me. So I have to go through all of this trouble, all this bullshit, to get to Zen. Now, I bitch and moan about some things in Half-Life. A ton of stuff in it hasn't aged too well, like the engine, the AI, the models, the sound, the shitty platforming, but at its core, it's still an amazing game. A groundbreaking moment in the history of interactive entertainment, and my petty complaints are nothing compared to its impact on the industry. So, when I say that Zen is bad and rushed and not even remotely fun, I don't do it just because I personally hate Zen. I do hate Zen, but in my defense, it is an affront to human decency. But why? Why is Zen so bad? It's not just the platforming, that's awful, sure. It's also the gravity change, the slower falling but still killer fall damage, the waiting for the moving platforms, the waiting for your health to recharge in health pools, the fucking endless waiting. The game's forward momentum dies in Zen. When your game is linear, when your levels are going in one direction, forward momentum isn't all that you have. If that's gone, your expertly connected set pieces that escalate further and further mean nothing. A giant testicle monster. Sure, why not? Are you fucking kidding? It's multi-stage. It feels like it goes on forever. Why? I know you guys had some weird shit planned with Mr. Friendly, but did you honestly never think maybe we should cut the testicle monster? No? This is where the head crabs came from? It's important to the lore? Interloper breaks me. Interloper is the worst chapter of Half-Life. It makes residue processing look like fucking free Wi-Fi with tits. You will be asking yourself during Interloper, is this over? And the answer is no. It's never over. You're still playing Interloper right now. I'm still playing Interloper. We're all stuck here forever. Every bad thing that happened in 2020 was because of Interloper. Because someone thought, oh, I'll make these elevators spin. And put some Vortigaunts that attack you in here, and some that don't. And the mysterious barrels have alien grunts in them for some reason. You want to know what a dead stop looks like in Half-Life? It's this fucking hallway in Interloper. The Nihilanth is saying stuff to you. I sure hope he isn't warning me about unwillingly doing the G-Man's bidding. Oh cool, the gravity is all messed up again, and the collision and platforming is still terrible, so let's make that the main focus of the game for the final act. Because after Interloper, this baby-faced bitch is getting his fucking ticket punched. When the Nihilanth isn't teleporting you, ha! I dodged it, you weird fetal representation of one of the developers' anxieties about fatherhood. You gotta destroy his crystals first, and then go through his teleports. Yeah, kill the things on the other side of those teleports and escape. Make sure to always be behind cover when he attacks, because he'll always one-hit you, and then... Awesome. Cool.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit I took.
Fine, I'll do it again.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit, I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapons. Most of them were government property. As for the suit, I think you've earned it.
Oh yeah? Then why do you take it away from me at the beginning of the next game, huh?
The border world, then, is in our control for the time being.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing you'll have this place on lockdown for, I don't know, about 7 hours.
I have recommended your services to my employers, and they have authorized me to offer you a job. They agree with me that you have limitless potential. You've proved yourself a decisive man, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble deciding what to do.
Did I, though? Have I really decided anything? Haven't I just been on a rail this whole time from the start? I've been following straight lines to get here, following orders, doing other people's dirty work. At what point have I made a decision?
Time to choose.
I regret nothing.
No regrets, Mr. Freeman.
Oh man, this Quake remaster is great. Maybe if I mention it here, people will stop telling me to make a video on the remaster of a game I've already covered. Like there's anything more to it than good job, Night Dive Machine Games. These new levels sure are pretty, and in the tradition of Quake, the boss sucks. There you go, done. I feel like there isn't much to talk about in expansion packs unless they're especially evil or have an interesting narrative that ties into the main... Oh, goddamn. In 1999, a young former employee of 3D Realms named Randall S. Pitchford II, named after a mythical creature that was said to inhabit an underground grease dumpster in Amarillo, Texas, the young man went on to found Gearbox Software with other developers from Rebel Boat Rocker, known for making nothing and having their funding pulled by EA while they were working on an ambitious title called Prax War 2018, which was taking too long and not making any progress, so I guess you can take the staff out of 3D Realms, but you can't take the 3D Realms out of the staff. Gambling on the potential success of making expansion packs for one of the most widely acclaimed video games in history, Gearbox created 2 expansion packs for Half-Life, Opposing Force released in 1999 and Blue Shift released in 2001. There was also Decay, which we won't be playing because it's co-op and Civvie doesn't have friends. I had a disc copy of Opposing Force and I didn't actually play Blue Shift until way later, like post-Steam release. I thought Opposing Force was pretty cool, you know, when I was like 12. I haven't played it since that time I got footage for the other Half-Life video, but don't worry, all of this stuff is canon. Or not, because Valve doesn't care. Everything and nothing is canon. Except Hunt Down the Freeman, apparently, which is really too bad. I was hoping that we'd get to see Mitchell in Half-Life 3 when he arrived at Borealis and he'd be all edgy and shit, but he won't have the same voice because it's 2257 and the voice actor is long dead, just like me, you, and everyone watching this. So anyway, the first expansion to come out for Half-Life was Opposing Force, which I'm gonna say is canon with Hunt Down the Freeman because nothing matters. I swear, we don't get expansions like this anymore. You know they completely redid the hazard course for this game?
Rise and shine, ladies! My name is Senior Drill Instructor Dwight T. Barnes. The first and last words I want to hear out of your stinking holes is, sir. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir!
Oh, those crunchy 90s wave files all layered on top of each other. Holy shit, let's not do that again.
When I ask you to jump, you will reply with, how high?
Don't you mean, sir? How high, sir?
What's your name, dirtbag?
Yo, man, this is a Half-Life game, no talking.
Sound off like you got a pair!
I literally can't.
Corporal Shepard, huh? Looks more like Corporal Dog Meat to me.
It's a skin condition.
My suggestion to you is to get your ass down to the training center and report to Drill Instructor Sharp ASAP. Now move it, Corporal!
This guy speaks in corny military drill sergeant cliches when he's not directly quoting Full Metal Jacket.
Texas! Holy cow! You know what comes from Texas, don't you?
Get it? He's calling him gay.
I will smoke you like a Cuban cigar!
I hope the other drill sergeants are different. This guy seems really fixated on dirtbags.
Are you touching me, dirtbag? What is your major malfunction, dirtbag?
Oh god, it's the same voice, and it's also John St. John. All voices in opposing force are actually John St. John.
All right, maggot, listen up! I don't care what your previous outfit was like, but around here we do things my way! Follow my instructions carefully, and by the end of the day I'll have you eating danger and crapping victory!
Aliens Colonial Marines dialogue makes so much more sense now. This isn't your dad's Half-Life Hazard course. For one thing, you don't get an HEV suit, you get a military vest that works exactly the same as an HEV suit. And this course lets you really test it out.
The enormous vest that your military has provided you with will keep you alive! Step onto the mark and this will be demonstrated for you! You are not dead!
That's the best joke ever put into a Gearbox game right there. You kids should let that one roll in your mouth for a while, really savor it. Sharp throws you through some obstacle courses and chides you for not going fast enough through scripted events you have no control over the timing of. With clear safety violations that fit perfectly in the universe that Black Mesa exists in, as well as showing off some of this expansion's new toys. Night vision goggles, new weapons like the sniper rifle which could hit the flea off a dog's back at 100 meters, and the Desert Eagle which could possibly hit somewhere in the vicinity of the dog if that dog was Clifford and he stood directly in front of it saying he was 2 days away from retirement. Unless you hit the secondary fire button and turn on the laser sight. What the fuck? So then John St. John orders me to order John St. John to cut through this door. You can use your NPC buddies to help you, like engineers and medics, which is cool, I guess. We'll see how effective it is on the battlefield. My last test is learning how to press E.
Congratulations, soldier! You're no longer a low-life maggot! I'm proud to say you are a soldier!
Then it's off to...
Okay, Goose 7, proceed to Sector 112LZ and rendezvous with Alpha Bravo Tango, over. Copy that, HQ.
Now, where the hell are we anyway?
Well, the pilot thought we were heading to your mother's house. So far, this all looks familiar.
Yeah, that's real cute, Jack.
Anytime, anywhere.
So they quote aliens, talk about how no one's given them their orders yet, and then they all die, except you. A scientist pulls you out of the wreckage.
Oh, you've woken up. Corporal Shepard, is it? I've read the tag on your uniform. I'm glad to see my life-saving efforts weren't in vain. I can't say the same for him.
This scientist saved my life, making him the most useful scientist to ever work at Black Mesa.
I'm afraid you have been through a serious accident. Most of your friends didn't make it. I was hoping that you soldiers had come to rescue us, but now it seems we are all in the same situation. I think I saw a radio near the crash site where I found you. Perhaps you can go there and radio for help?
I can, theoretically speak, in this game, so maybe. Listen, I'm on a mission. You guys should have given me a weapon, because this headcrab zombie's gonna kill all of you.
You just think it's all about you.
Yeah, you tell him, Otis.
Okay, Shepard, I see you found your power vest. That should keep you safe out there.
I'm playing on hard again, so... Nah, probably not.
See, now I've heard rumors that you troops may not actually be here to rescue us.
That is correct, but I'm gonna let you live, Otis, because I don't have a weapon. Oh wait, no, now I have one. Ah, damn it, I can't get back in. That headcrab zombie will take care of him. Mission's still on. Fuck up some laser experiments, kill some headcrabs with this slow, unsatisfying wrench. The crowbar is better, but that's okay, because you get a knife soon that is basically a reskinned crowbar. I don't even have to kill these guys, they're so dumb. I have to turn off the generator before I can get to the radio, and Dead Otis gives me his Desert Eagle, which I suppose is better than Melee, especially on hard, but it just ain't the old Python I'm used to.
Shepard, you're alive. Listen, we've been cut up pretty bad and orders are coming down to pull out. Repeat, pull out.
Well, that was a short game, but I think that's the smart play here.
If you can make your way through the transit system, you can probably reach the surface where we are pulling out. Good luck. Over.
Transit system? Ah, no, you're not fooling me with that again. I'm gonna go through these tunnels full of unstable machinery and toxic waste. This is still better than on a rail. You gotta stand in this spot and wait for a bridge to fall so you can go upstairs and get saved by the G-Man? For some reason? That's right, bitch, I'm back. Alright, back in the sewers. So I gotta get into this room full of toxic waste, and to do that I have to get this robot out, meaning this area is sealed off because of the robot and not the toxic waste. I feel like this whole thing doesn't really kick into gear until you're on a train, you know, like all Half-Life games. Otis, you fucking dick. Come here, I need you to open a door.
Have you seen the new IG-88?
No, I haven't. But a friend of mine...
What is that, Doc?
I don't know.
This is the introduction of the mysterious Race X, who are mysterious and who we know practically nothing about, and they only appear in opposing force.
I've never seen that species before.
It's okay, sir. I can take it. Just a little damage, but I can make it.
No! I don't want to die!
Those poor bastards.
Yeah, but they were gonna die anyway. Now how about opening that door?
My mom is gonna worry when I don't make it home tonight. I'm at.
Oh no. You're one of them. Can't we just get along? You look terrible. Hold still. This won't hurt a bit.
Thanks, Doc. I take my mission seriously.
Come in, Cooper. Do you copy? Forget about Freeman. We're abandoning the base.
Hey, I remember that from the thing, the Forget About Freeman. Yeah, I played Half-Life. Guess it's time to get out of here.
We don't have time to mess around here.
You've got to believe me.
I'm not letting you go until you... This is my post, sir.
Fine. Oh, G-Man, come on, don't be an asshole. My brother Mitchell's on that chopper. G-Man, come on. G-Man. I'm so disappointed that didn't work. Looks like it's back to vent crawling and underground tunnels, but wait, there's a new monster, the Gnome, foreshadowed earlier by a scientist.
Can you imagine what the next stage of mutation looks like?
Yeah, it looks like that, and it's not terribly threatening. It throws shit at you, and if I ever got hit by it, I would tell you what that was, but more of Race X shows up too. These are pit drones, and honestly, nothing's gonna be an issue in this game until the human NPCs show up, unless you consider moving the same metal box around 3 times to be a challenge.
When all the fighting started, I hid myself here. I don't think any of them above have survived.
Sir, it's good to see it. Looks like somebody really screwed up, Corporal. Seems the brass bit off more than they could chew. Yeah, well, forget about Freeman. We've got to save our own asses. You with us, Corporal?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I need you to open the next door.
I was told this is gonna be a babysitting job.
I wasn't told anything. But I guess we're here to waste these annoying scientists who did this experiment that led to an alien invasion, which is gonna lead to an even worse alien invasion in a war that only lasts like 7 hours, where we get absolutely crushed. My brother Mitchell knows more about that, though.
Man, if we make it out of here alive, I'm gonna buy you all a round of beers. Hell, I'll buy the whole damn bar. Check your zone.
That's great, man. Get in the elevator.
I was told to guard this area.
You absolutely were not. Come on!
Yes, sir!
The game crashed? Are you shit?
This mission is way beyond FUBAR.
Private, get in that goddamn elevator.
Further orders.
No! No!
Sure, we can do more damage that way.
Oh! So it's mutiny. Yeah, this whole section would have been easier with some AI companions. Now the Black Ops soldiers come in, because you can't have a Half-Life expansion without the soldiers. They were the AI showcase for Half-Life. We can just reskin them and call them Black Ops, and say that there was yet another faction of enemies in Black Mesa there to clean up after the HECU cleanup failed. After that, I assume the plan was just to throw the Earth into the sun and be done with it. They tortured this poor guy who I have to lead a medic to so he can cut open a door. The Black Ops think that the HECU Marines are incompetent, but let me tell you, we're born to kill, we're badass. Oorah to ashes, motherfucker.
Squad, quiet down. Nobody told us about black operations in the mission briefing. Yeah, I mean, we're all on the same team, right? Right?
You guys got a briefing? Say, that's a nice machine gun.
Do you have any idea who's in charge of this operation?
This was a terrible idea, but I think the next room would have killed them anyway. It killed me plenty. Don't play Half-Life on hard, kids. It's really not worth it. Their AI is cool because they'll run from grenades you toss. Yeah, everybody loves Zen so much that we're bringing it back, briefly, until I get this experimental portal gun thing that has a secondary fire that gets me out of here. So long, Zen. Hello, hazard course? Yeah, this is easy. There's even a health station here, and then it takes me back to Zen. It's just not Half-Life without a little shitty platforming. Oh, what's this? Another teleportation experiment? Fresh meat! Fresh meat, fresh meat, fresh meat, fresh meat, fresh meat, fresh meat!
Thank you for releasing me. I can help you access any secured area in this lab.
Yeah, I know, so get to it. I promise I won't kill you. Promise is kept, baby. You know, I've always thought, what better place for an underwater research base than the middle of the desert? For once, a teleporter malfunction doesn't take you to Zen. As for weapons that work underwater, I don't have a crossbow, but I do have this BFG. I call it a BFG because it's a big gun that shoots a big ball of yellowish-green energy that deletes enemies. I'd prefer a glue-on gun myself, but this is what I've got. My most hated member of Race X shows up here, about 90 minutes after he's introduced killing Black Mesa staff, and that's the shock trooper, who's like a human NPC except they have these shock roaches as weapons and toss green shit at you instead of grenades. I hate them. It's not so bad, you know, shoot them in the eye and they go down, but then every time the shock roach pops back up and tries to kill you. After another short jog through the border world, more Race X creatures. This one is the Voltigore, and it is now not. Opposing Force really likes giving you new weapons, maybe even too many new weapons. In this add-on, you get the Desert Eagle, the machine gun, the wrench, the knife, the BFG, the shock roach, the spore launcher, the sniper rifle, and now the Barnacle. The spore launcher is top tier for Nuke and Black Ops, just A+. The Barnacle will eat things, but not other barnacles. And also it can be used as a grappling hook. I don't really see the point of these tentacles being here. You can't kill them, and you'd have to go out of your way for them to kill you.
X-Ray Zulu, are you there? We need backup in the waste sector. It's some sort of worm creature. Tower and Eddie are down, and I've lost contact with the rest of the squad. We need backup now! Now, damn it, now!
This is a lot like Blast Pit from Half-Life, except shorter and not as cool. You have to flush toxic waste by activating the valve and the gearbox. You get it? You get it? I get to activate the trash compactor this time. Yeah! I'm kind of bored right now. I think I'll just teleport away and see where it takes me. Yeah, I guess it is still better than going to Zen. Not really a nest, though. Are back with a vengeance, and total blackout tunnels full of Voltigores. It would be weird if they didn't give me a super weapon that could kill them in one hit. I don't have enough energy ammo for that, so I have to get a couple of them stuck on geometry. This time the Black Ops are surrounded by explodey stuff, and if you blow any of it up, the whole place goes, except this one right here. You can blow up this box and only this box. Man, I would feel really stupid if the whole place ended up being exploded out of existence anyway after all this. A good time to pick up the sniper rifle, which reliably one-hits the Black Ops. That one wasn't me, that's just the expertly trained secret government operatives who are way more competent than my guys. Alright, Marines, let's rock! Hoorah! Born to kill!
Man, if we make it out of
Out fucking standing. You guys remember that dam from Surface Tension? It's back. Fucking shock roaches.
I don't know what those Black Ops are up to, but it doesn't involve getting us out of here alive. We've got no choice but to fight our way out. Let's go!
At your command, sir!
This whole section is like Opposing Forces' version of Surface Tension. It's ball-busting, it seems to go on forever. There's a part where you have to use a machine to blow open a door, it's just jankier and designed worse. This is really impractical to aim, and I have to shoot behind the gate to destroy it, not at the gate. Which makes sense. I'm supposed to nail this helicopter some other way, I forget, but I got 3 rockets to spare on me, so...
These Black Ops have some sort of bomb. I think they're planning on blowing up the base. No, why do you think they would do such a thing? I'll just wait here. That's it, I've had it. I'm only willing to take so much. Don't make me going through, don't make me, I'm only, that's it, I'm only, don't make, that's it, don't make, I'm only, that's it, don't make, don't make, that's it, I'm only, that's it, don't make me go and throw down or something.
Holy shit, he died, and he's tiny now.
Are you crazy? I'm not opening this door until someone turns that bomb off.
You're basically at ground zero. I don't think that this room is safe. Still, I should probably handle this delicately since there's a nuclear warhead involved.
Whew, that was a close one. You better get in here.
It's not going to be easy from here on out.
I'm used to it.
The only way out is through the level 4 storage unit, but it's a mess down there. The Black Ops were using it as a staging point until the aliens came in. If you do make it through, make sure you have them come back for us.
Yeah, of course. Barney wasn't wrong. I died a lot. See, because I'm playing on hard, all the health pickups are worth next to nothing, 10 per medkit and 25 per health station. The armor situation isn't much better. It's hard to concentrate on survival when this awful goddamn environment noise is blasting my ears out. cool humans versus aliens battle going on, and I have to clean up whatever's left. This is it though, the last fight before the big boss battle.
Listen, you've got to get down below. There's something coming through, and it's the nastiest looking thing yet.
This boss is certainly something. Comes out of the portal, you gotta shoot it in the eye. There's a healing pool sitting right over here. He's got some attacks, like he kind of slaps at you. He's got some toxic clouds, but like, there's a healing pool right here. You shoot him in his eye and then in his glow hole and he phases out. He doesn't even die. G-Man captures you and like a dick puts you in stasis or something. I don't know, fuck him. He learned from the last time and I can't even move during this cutscene, so I'm thinking this boss was just really sleepy. Probably because he just played Blue Shift. Blue Shift came out in 2001, and boy is it boring. It is shockingly, awfully tedious. I mean, I couldn't even give it its own video because it is so remarkably, inexpressibly dull. Blue Shift started out as an add-on for the canceled Dreamcast port of Half-Life, and so all that new stuff that was in Opposing Force is not here. Like, none of it. What you do get is Barney's last name, Calhoun, the HD pack that was shipped with it that includes polished up and higher poly models for everything, and new sounds for some things for some reason. The levels are more detailed, I guess, and there are more NPCs milling around in the intro, which is on a train again, like in Half-Life. Too bad it glitched out on me when I first tried it. Even more confusing, there's a hazard course level that's just the fucking Half-Life hazard course with Barney as a hologram. This is your dad's hazard course. It's literally the same, and what the fuck is happening with my mouse? It keeps doing this, going back to a certain position, and I had to turn raw mouse input on to fix it. I sure hope nothing else goes wrong.
The door's not responding to your pass ID. Let me see if I can get it open on this side.
Hello, Gordon. You doing okay, buddy? You look a little glitchy. I should really turn on the HD models for this, right? That's the intended experience. Nah, I still think this is cursed. I'm gonna keep it on. Oh god, I'm playing as Barney, but everyone is Barney.
Calhoun. 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 Calhoun.
I go to the shooting range to pick up some extra ammo. I feel like I'm gonna need it, as if this normal day in the life of an average security guard is gonna go horribly wrong.
Uh-oh, now what? Looks like some people are having problems with the main access lift in Sector G. Why don't you go over there and see what you can do?
Well, I'm not a mechanic. Because this is Half-Life, the trains are no longer working, and I gotta take the long way. There's the G-Man, you remember him? Looks like he's only barely tethered to this reality.
Well, it's about time. We don't pay you
Motherfucker, talking to me like a...
Oh dear! Make this thing work so we can get on with this miserable day.
Not my job. Like at all. This is the only tool they gave me.
It's probably those anomalous materials people again. Always pushing their equipment too hard, dabbling in who knows what. I'd be surprised if there's one good brain among them. Oh dear!
I mean, this is a cool scripted sequence, but then... corridor after corridor of shooting low-level enemies. It isn't even frustratingly difficult anymore either. And there's one very important factor to that. which I thought going in would be a hindrance, but it's not. So Barney doesn't have an HEV suit or a military power vest. He just has normal-ass armor and helmets. No using the wall charges. You'd think that this would be a problem. But on hard mode, those chargers give you diddly dick for a recharge. In Blue Shift, the armor pickups give you 60 fucking points. People may have described Blue Shift as more of the same before, but no, because there's very few actual set pieces and a lot of running through corridors or sewers or hallways or shooting things, and it is really, really boring, but to Blue Shift's credit, it is extremely short. Like, it would be totally understandable to release this along with the Dreamcast port, but to put it out as a full-fledged expansion after Opposing Force, which had all of this stuff, and then you put this out, which is updated HD models and nothing else in terms of weapons, enemies, or gameplay, what is there to even talk about? We've got to go find a scientist that everybody's talking about. Dr. Rosenberg, voiced by John St. John. Can't deny the man has range.
There may be enough equipment in the old lab to piece together a device that would allow us to teleport outside of the facility.
Obviously, there's going to be fights with soldiers, and some of these arenas are questionable. Mostly because I can sit in one area and take out most of the grunts with ease in half of them. You know what would really liven this up? A turret section. And a tank fight. Within 10 minutes of rescuing Dr. Rosenberg, you're in a lab ready to go to Zen. And even the Zen section seems neutered. You're sent to Zen to run around for a while and shoot low-level enemies mostly, and turn on a triangulation device so the scientists can successfully use the border world to teleport out of Black Mesa and escape. Maybe because this was designed for people playing on the Dreamcast, it just doesn't throw the amount of enemies at you that Half-Life does. 15 minutes. 15 minutes in Zen. That's not a complaint, but it leaves no impression on me, except this part, right, where I fall to my death in Zen, sort of.
Good job, Mr. Calhoun. We began to worry when you didn't come back for some time, but it looks as though you were able to get the device operational. The signal we're getting is very strong, but I'm afraid I have some bad news.
We've got to get out of here together. If we don't get the power cell charged, we're all going to die. Look out! Get out of here! I can take...
We're already at the final chapter of Blue Shift. It's probably the most interesting and hardest, I guess. You've got aliens and soldiers, and it's a solid Half-Life map. I have to go down to the lower level and get a power cell to keep the teleporter on long enough for everyone to escape. Move some coolant barrels to make a bridge, raise the coolant level. This kind of thing would fit right in, like in the middle of Half-Life. It isn't bad, it's just there. In 2001, I probably could have downloaded a fan-made campaign that was just as good. You gotta wait for the scientists to go through the portal. You also have to assist by hitting 2 switches and using a valve while being attacked by 2 hound eyes. Damn, that's terrifying. I'm gonna have to really prep for this one. And after the hound eyes, you can hear the HECU grunts chattering almost 2 whole minutes before they cut through this door.
Almost there.
that's it. You go through the portal, see soldiers dragging Gordon to the trash compactor, then you're in the parking lot safe and sound and you escape Black Mesa. Blue Shift is short, like my playthrough took less than 2 hours. Opposing Force took me about twice as long. And even though it all has the stink of Randy on it, at least Opposing Force has, you know, other stuff. It's not just more Half-Life with some, I don't know what it is about these models, they're just so cursed.
Calhoun.
Alright kids, are you ready to experience the Black Mesa incident for the 4th and 5th different perspective? Because that's exactly what we're going to be doing today once we dive into the 3rd expansion of Half-Life 1's expanded universe. Last time on the channel, we took a look at Captivation Digital Laboratories' port of Half-Life to the PlayStation 2, originally intended for the Sega Dreamcast. And while that port got cancelled and its exclusive campaign was ported to PC in 2002, Half-Life for the PlayStation 2 didn't suffer the same fate, meaning its exclusive campaign is now stuck to the PS2. And unlike its predecessors, Half-Life Decay was a completely cooperative multiplayer experience, requiring 2 players to play together, navigating through mission-based levels and solving puzzles together while fighting enemy NPCs. While the campaign received generally mixed reviews at the time, it was praised for something that I don't think we give it enough credit for, and that being a first-person cooperative experience where both players need to work together on the same puzzle, rather than basically just playing through a single-player experience but with 2 players. Something that Valve would excel at with the later release of Portal 2's co-op campaign. And much like the Portal series, Half-Life Decay is helmed by our first women protagonists of the series, offering us another piece of the puzzle of how everyone managed to escape the Black Mesa incident. Until they didn't. But if you're gonna play this port today, chances are you're not gonna be using the original PS2 release, but instead the community-made mod that brings it to PC, even with fully functional online play. At least until it didn't. The Hoaxer port, as I'll be referring to it from time to time, was originally intended to be the only way that I would look at it for this video, but I discovered that when attempting to set up a dedicated server for myself and my cooperative partners to join, that Gold Source dedicated servers are kinda broken right now. Look, I'm not gonna pretend that I completely understand what I'm looking at, but I followed every guide I came across for trying to set up a Decay dedicated server for the mod, and the Steam command prompt ended up timing out every time I tried to run it. So after 40 minutes of fiddling with this thing, I decided to turn to an alternative. Yeah, we ended up using Spend Co-op for this one, and unless I wanted to use something like Hamachi, this was really my only option here. It's definitely not ideal if you wanted to play Decay 1-to-1 with your friends online, but it got the job done. Take your crowbar.
Oh. Well, that ain't fun. Oh. What do you go the field position?
I timed it so poorly. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna press it, and I press it as soon as you stop.
Oh
If you've ever played Half-Life 1 on Sven, you'll know that they've added some extra enemies and enemy spawns to the campaign to make the game a bit harder, compensating for multiple players. They've also balanced a bit by adjusting the weapon output. The shotgun in particular was especially meaty, able to one-shot a Vortigaunt from a decent distance away, even with the difficulty set to hard. Alright, yeah, maybe this is a little easy.
All the Vorts are running away from us because they know what's good for them.
But some enemies were lucky enough to receive a buff. Soldiers and Zengrunts in particular are brutal in Sven. The former spams frag grenades and SMG ult fires like it's the 4th of July, and Zengrunts can throw snark nests at you into the field, releasing a handful of the fuckers to harass the player, or get their own hands dirty and charge directly at you while hammering you with melee attacks. And I get it. I'm not gonna dock hypothetical points from the game just because these enemies are adjusted to work with a massive 4+ player cooperative game. But whoever ported the Hoax Report to Sven co-op didn't change the enemy spawns at all. So in some situations, the game is going to be easier or significantly harder than it was in the original PS2 version, or even the Hoax Report. One could argue that if I was going to even play through Sven in the first place, that I should have brought more than 2 players, and in hindsight, maybe I should have. But I don't really care. I played through the whole game myself in the Hoax Report, and then later went back and played it again solo in the PS2 port. Yeah, I didn't know that I could even do this when I recorded these first 5 playthroughs of the game, and is actually one of the reasons why I had to delay this video several times. The, at the time, last-minute decision to play the original PS2 release on my own led to a lot of discoveries that I wanted to share in this video, and I mean, this is Half-Life. I love this series to death, and I want to include as much information as I can. Playing the game solo through either of these methods both aren't ideal. You're basically playing through the entire game twice for a single run because the character that you're not controlling doesn't have any pathfinding. So once you get one of the players to where they need to go, you tap the select key on the PS2 controller to swap over to the other character and then guide them through the map, which likely has no more enemies left in it because your other player killed all of them. Just about every level in Decay follows this formula, but not all of them. There are a couple of them where you're only required to have one player finish, but your AI companion can only defend itself with weapons that it decides that it wants to use, effectively acting as a random stationary turret that protects the player. Sometimes this means that you'll hear them blast away a headcrab with a double-barrel shotgun blast, and other times they'll just pull out their crowbar because I don't know. Most of the time, this is harmless, if not comical. But as soon as you get the rocket launcher at the end of the game, I hope you're ready for your companion to just waste all of its ammo. By the way, if you have any interest in playing Half-Life Decay solo, go follow Half-Life Decay Solo Mission. It's a whole mod dedicated to rebuilding the whole Half-Life Decay campaign to be fit for a single player. It seems like a really promising project. I've been following it for a while, and you should too. Still, I think I prefer this over Sven Co-op's updated weapons. And before anyone tries to tell me that I could just type in MP_classic mode 1 in the console, I tried that and I was only able to get it to work when playing base Half-Life 1. Maybe there's some parameters that are set in this modded port of Decay, I'm not sure. That's not to say that I hated these weapons, it actually made for a lot of good fun playing these co-op, and I'll make sure to keep an icon at the top left of your screen so you know who I'm playing with when you're looking at that cooperative footage. You won't need to worry about whose perspective you're seeing. I didn't ask any of my friends to record their screens because I thought I would have enough perspectives on my own, except for Civvie. He offered to, and I didn't say no, so specifically with my recordings with Civvie, whoever's logo you see at the top left of the screen that's in front of the others is whose footage you're looking at. I can see myself through your eyes!
Dr. Cross and Dr. Green, you are required in the Anomalous Materials Operations Center.
I want to make sure that we're on the same page here when I drop the most revolutionary truth bomb on you in the entire series. Half-Life Decay doesn't start with a tram sequence. Crazy, I know. Given that they had to lock Gordon's position in the tram in the single-player campaign, this was definitely due to system limitations. If they couldn't have a single player run around this train rendering things off-screen, then rendering it twice per player probably would have turned the console into a nuclear bomb. Obviously, this is the reason why nobody talks about the game today. Before anyone takes that point seriously, Half-Life Alyx doesn't start with a train either, and I think that game was fantastic. I didn't cry at all at the ending. No sir, not me. Our protagonists, Dr. Gina Cross and Dr. Colette Green, begin the game already suited up in their HEVs, which are thought to be the same ones that belong to the 2 empty charging bays that Gordon's HEV suit was in between. And I'm pretty sure that this is all but confirmed at this point, at least when it comes to the Gearbox universe.
So I guess today is the big day, huh? The big guy was pretty excited when he came in earlier. He was talking about the new guy, Dr. Freeman. I just hope everything goes well today.
Hey, no one tell him. It'll be a surprise.
I love this pre-G-Man is a dimension-hopping alien dialogue.
Oh, I'll get the door for you. They should be able to get you back into the security database in the next room.
Why do I need to be back in the database? Oh, right, the system crashed. Get in the box.
I'll start the procedure. Not to worry. I can re-register you at this station. Step into the booth one at a time, and I'll start the procedure. Please be still during the procedure. Don't worry, Dr. Cross. It should only take a few moments.
Not to worry, my friend. I, Dr. Gina Cross, am respectful of your strange yellow biometric scanner. Might want to put some padding up for Dr. Green, though. Is this all insured? Just making sure.
Oh, no! Get me out! Get me out! I'm moving around during the scan. Fuck the police.
I take it back. Wiggling around in the scanner doesn't make it take any longer, so I don't care. This isn't the scanner from Doom 3.
Dude, look at this cool transformer.
Bro, fuck
yeah,
that's not a
look
transformer. That's a white man.
Wait. Oh, you are slanted.
Ah, hello, doctors. It's nice to see someone is on time today. Dr. Freeman is running late. Again. Honestly, I do not understand what Kleiner sees in that boy.
Mr. Armstrong, please, you don't understand. He's really good at pushing things into holes. This is Dr. Keller, and if you recognize his voice, it probably means you're a fucking weeb!
I can use this console to transmit directly to your suit's audio system.
And bringing with it terror and destruction as it moves to satisfy its never-ending hunger for one thing, Dragon Ball.
Almost everything important about this guy is shown to us in the first few minutes that we meet him. He's a by-the-books bureaucrat who cares more about following the chain of command than he does the safety and human cost of it all, making a perfect counter for Dr. Rosenberg returning from Blue Shift and planting the seeds for a bit of conflict between these two heads of Black Mesa, at least before the writing team remembered, oh right, Dr. Rosenberg does this thing at the end of Blue Shift, better write him out of the story and not take that plot point anywhere, but it does at least show that Rosenberg has a reasonable head on his shoulders.
It was quite
The administrator is a bureaucrat, not a scientist. I did not design this equipment to be run at such high intensity.
This is not your decision. Now, if you wish to stay and monitor the experiment, so be it. Otherwise, you can go back to your little labs over by the train yard.
It made perfect sense to me that this man was one of the few people able to escape Black Mesa by the end. Spoilers for Blue Shift. What are you doing here if you haven't played Blue Shift? Having these two NPCs guide the player around through the game is a breath of fresh air after playing opposing force in Blue Shift, but I'm not gonna say that Dr. Keller is too deep of a character. For most of the game, he just acts as our guy in the chair, operating behind the seat. Hold on, that's not what I meant. I meant that he's like our Otacon, giving us information from back at base. Oh god, okay, I can't come back from this. Don't leave just yet. Here's something interesting about him. His model name in the game is listed as Kleiner, intending that pretty early in development, this guy was supposed to be Gordon's mentor from MIT. Because Bryce Armstrong, the actor, did have a decent resume at the time working on Dragon Ball, I'm assuming that they couldn't afford to bring him back in to re-record lines, so it's safe to assume that this change into an original character was done relatively early in the game's development. It's also possible that this change was made because Valve was working on Half-Life 2 at the time and requested that they change his name because they were planning on debuting Kleiner in their game. But that's just speculation on my part. Dr. Cross is sent into a lower level to prepare sample GG3883, while Dr. Green is assigned to... Where are we? Are we above or below the test chamber? Split up same way, or do we just mix it up?
Mix it up.
Alright, don't break anything.
Don't die.
Hey, how about that? I'm doing exactly what Barney saw me do in the monitor back in Blue Shift. Look at me, Ma, I'm on TV! You know how in the Gold Source games, how if you grab a box or something and then start walking, you just freaking launch that thing? Gearbox made sure to take this into account when having the player shove the sample into the lift, setting the trigger inside the lift that looks for the cart deep inside of it. That's pretty cool, right? It really showed that they knew the technology that they were working with. But in base Half-Life, you were never required to launch something like this. And I mentioned this because this feature isn't even present in Sven Co-op. If you grab a crate and move it around, it moves more like something, say, in Half-Life 2, which led to one of the most consistent quirks between all 4 of my co-op playthroughs. Oh! You did it! Whatever you did.
Yes!
What? What the fuck was that? I made it my life's mission to make sure that this happened to everybody I played with. I want you to push it. It's not in yet.
Well, god damn it.
There you go. Almost there.
I got it.
That's all I wanted.
You tricked me.
I don't know why it does this. Well, okay, there you go. The man who saved us all and or doomed us all.
Take cover!
What? Hold on. Let me try.
Take cover!
Why is your name Balls?
Oh, right. Oops.
Pushed.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yep.
No, theoretically, this is impossible.
Theoretically, shit's broke.
Something must be jammed. See if there's anything interfering with the lift machinery in the test chamber below. I'll continue trying to operate the lift from here.
God, why do I have to do everything myself? Who lost their crowbar in the femur breaker?
I mean, it is supposed to go up and down phallically, but that's all technology, really.
Oh dear.
We'll take it from here.
All in a day's work, my fellow colleagues.
I've just been informed that the sample is ready, Gordon. It should be coming up to you any moment now.
I did that.
It's not. It's not shutting down. It's not.
I also did that. Doing trick shots.
360.
This is what actually caused the resonance cascade.
Just two dipshits throwing crowbars everywhere.
Yo, Breen, you gotta check this shit out.
Yo, Brain, you want to do a 360 crowbar? No bar.
360 no bar. Goodbye. In my defense, I only turned it up to 80% like I'm supposed to. Good luck taking me to court, dumbass. Alright, now that I'm done deflecting the blame off of myself, guys, we don't have time to argue about who was to blame. We need to do what every Gold Source Half-Life game is all about and get out of this concrete casket of a missile base.
We can have soldiers here in 2 hours who can...
I don't think that's a good idea, Mr. St. John. From here on out, it's just another Half-Life game where you know exactly what to expect. You know that you'll be grabbing the same weapons at a slightly slower pace as you're introduced to the same enemy types for the next couple of hours until those gray credits roll over a pitch black background. It's kind of similar to Blue Shift in that regard, in that it's pretty average. But as a Half-Life fan, though, the story and premise feels almost like an official love letter to the fans, expanding on its universe in a way that ties up a couple of loose ends from the original story. Though that's not to say that it doesn't create a couple plot holes of its own. Yeah, I know how that feels.
Despite what Dr. Keller believes, our only concern now should be for the people trapped inside Black Mesa.
Ooh, conflicting philosophies.
Once they know what's going on, I'm confident they'll immediately send the military in to rescue us. There's an elevator nearby that will take us up to where we need to go. Follow me.
You know, when I mentioned on Twitter that I was gonna play through the Hoaxer port primarily for this video, I was told by a couple of folks to play through the PS2 original because the level designs were apparently not faithful. That's almost solely why I decided to play through it here. And yeah, those folks aren't technically wrong. The beginning of Chapter 2 has some boxes that drop batteries and ammo in the PC mod that aren't here in the original, but that's all I've got for Chapter 2 anyway. And now it's up to me to beat Gordon's record. He's had it good for too long. I could use a refresher on this one. That's coherent. You're
I
smart.
fixed it. Wall.
Is this where the HEV Mark Vs were tested? I ask because why are there turrets down here? Now that I think about it, why are there even turrets in a civilian facility like Black Mesa to begin with? I mean, who's even gonna break into... Oh, right.
I'm kind of surprised that there wasn't more toxic waste in the original Hazard course.
We're good. We're not good! We're not good!
Hold on. Come back. Okay, they're off now. Go. Go. Run. Fast.
Oh my god!
I got it.
Ah!
You turned them off. Whatever you did.
We don't need electricity anymore, do we? What was that? What did you give?
You can talk?
Over here. Be careful. As long as those sentry guns are active, it's suicide to go out there. But it is the only way to the surface. You're going to have to destroy them.
What the fuck is happening? Have you ever wondered where this tunnel leads at the end of the hazard course? It leads to right here. Damn, ain't that cool? It looks just like every other outdoor segment in this sub-series. Where'd it go? Okay. Why do you throw it so softly, and why do I throw it so hard?
I don't know. Because G-Man's got the forearm strike.
Apparently. Someone at Black Mesa actually followed proper protocol and locked the front door to this satellite uplink. And wouldn't you know it, Dr. Rosenberg doesn't have a key, so we're sent the long way around the facility to get this door open for the guy.
I'll wait here. The way is too dangerous for me, but you'll be protected by the hazard suits.
Alright, maybe he's not as smart as he looks if he thinks that we can just leave him here without protection outdoors. You might think that one of the players would need to stay behind here and protect Mr. St. John, but no, both of us are needed downstairs because we've got a different cooperative puzzle to do.
Alright, I think I understand this puzzle. I do not understand this puzzle. And I have to call that one back.
And then... Whoop. Okay, that does something. Send it back. This one might send a small one. There we go. Alright, it's perfectly Civvie sized.
There will be no ill effects from being this close to toxic waste.
Not at all. If Fallout has taught me anything, it's, I'm wearing boots.
I saw that on Twitter that you would play Fallout 1. I'm so sorry.
Ah, you made it. The control room is just up the stairs. Quick, come with me.
My man should really upgrade from tank controls. We're not done here just yet, though. On the way to the building, we stopped by a valve connected to a relay tower. This thing didn't work if we tried to use it before, but now that we've gotten Dr. Rosenberg up to the satellite uplink, one of us has to go down and spin the thing so that we could actually send this message out. With a bit of foresight, one of the players could probably book it right back to this room after the toxic sludge room and skip a whole wave of Vortigons that spawn outside. You know what? I don't think Dr. Rosenberg is an idiot. I think he was able to hold off all those Vortigons from spawning from sheer willpower alone. That, my friends, is the power of a threat of a cease and desist.
Take cover!
What am I doing?
Keep going.
Oh, I kept thinking turning it right was the right way, so I kept going, why is it not going any further? Weird.
Dr. Keller, do you read me? We've established the uplink and are transmitting the emergency signal.
I've doomed us all.
I'm sorry, did he just say contact the military? Is the whole military thing our fault? Are you fucking kidding?
Oh shit, sorry, I'm in the way. Go ahead. I swear to God if I just broke him.
He's fine. Get... Oh, he's not even solid anymore. That's not good.
Oh my God.
At the dampening field, you'll have to reset the dampening locks manually.
Who brought us back here? Resonance may be the chapter where we close the Zen plumbing to stop the Zen toilet from overflowing and spawning more monsters, but I remember it because we learned about the HEV microphone and speaker function that I mentioned in the last video.
His microphone is like a great texture.
Oh my God, it is.
Perfect. It's great. Nice job, Randy.
Nice of them to flag different weapons to only be picked up by a specific player so that everyone gets their own drop. I actually didn't know this in my first couple of playthroughs and thought that there was only one revolver in this room and that only one of the Super Decay sisters could pick it up. I was fine with that in the moment. I just thought it was a weird quirk. The hoaxer port makes a pretty interesting change here, deciding to give the revolver a zoom alt fire, which is, you know, an interesting choice to say the least. I really thought that this was just a thing in the PS2 version and that it was being faithful, but no, this is an exclusive change for the mod. I really don't mind this. I think it's perfectly harmless, and I have a theory as to why they made this change. This campaign is missing a lot of Half-Life's weapons, including the crossbow. Because the revolver is essentially a handheld sniper on its own in these games, I assume that the modding team wanted to turn it into exactly that. Not an alternative to the crossbow, but an amalgamation of both of them. I was a bit disappointed that this wasn't the case in the PS2 version, but only because that meant that there would be another uncanny similarity between the PS2 version of Half-Life and Black Mesa. I know that Black Mesa was first shown to the public back in 2007, but I'm not sure how early in production they showed the public that the revolver in that game would have iron sights, so this could have totally been inspired by Black Mesa. I'm not sure though. Oh God, where are you?
I'm on the other side, twisting the knob.
Okay, no, we need to be there for each other.
What? Nah, I'm just twisting the knob.
Oh fuck, I'm dead.
I know I'm not gonna like this.
Good luck on whatever's over there.
The displacement energy is increasing.
Oh god!
You must reset the lock quickly.
Oh, I fucking knew it!
Did you get all the way?
Yeah, it's not spinning anymore. Okay.
Oh,
you should open it again because it closed right on my face. It was very rude.
It was funny though.
If it was funny, Trav, how come I'm not laughing?
Go fuck yourself.
I did it. The displacement fields have shut down. Damn it, this is the second time they failed us. I'm going to see if I can access the transit system and bring a working tram to us. I'm afraid whatever held the rift open did so with intent, my friends. These aliens may not all be here by accident.
Mission succeeded, but also failed.
I mean, that's a great way to sum up this series. So Keller's plan to close the Zen plumbing predictably fails. I mean, this is a Half-Life game. We're not allowed to have happy endings. So for plan B, we're sent down into Black Mesa's dormitories to find a security guard. Literally any security guard, because every single one of them, for some reason, has the all-clear codes to launch the delivery rocket that we launched back in Honor Rail. If you ever wanted to know what that thing's purpose was, well, I guess Half-Life Decay finally has the answer for you. Its payload will help with something Keller is calling a resonance reversal, whatever that means. I imagine it's similar to sound waves of opposite frequencies colliding with each other to cancel out the noise. If that's the case, I think we're sending noise-canceling headphones into the stratosphere to save the planet. Now, were these ones sponsored by Raycon? Because that would explain where Black Mesa got their budget from. With a premise like this, I'd expect the chapter's title to be a badass term from rocket science. Something fitting to the Half-Life brand. Dude's got a dent in his head.
He does. Like, I commented on it earlier, but I feel kind of bad. I mean, is that...
Oh, see, I thought you were talking about his square jawline.
No, it's a dent.
That is
domestic violence.
Oh my god! You can't just say that right after I comment on his head dent. Come on. They knew you'd be looking for a Barney in this level, so I hope that you're ready to see these guys get brutally murdered in front of you like it's an episode of Low Poly Happy Tree Friends.
Dude, who's getting the best head?
I really thought that these faces were the result of the Hoaxer mod, so imagine my surprise when I see Barney's hitting that post-nut clarity on my fucking PS2. Though, while we're on the subject of changes made to the PC version...
Is that there?
Sequence complete?
It didn't say sequence complete to me, it said 2 more to go. What? What?
I threw a grenade into a vent and I got that pop-up.
I'm seeing a pop-up for PlayStation controls.
Whoa, what? What? Yeah, I didn't know the significance of this when I played through this game with really everyone you've seen in this video. If you're familiar with Decay, you probably know about the Vortigaunt bonus mission at the end of this. What Civvie discovered here is part of a larger, borderline Easter egg-like secret hunt that the modding team incorporated into the game as a substitute for unlocking this bonus mission early. No, you don't plug in a PlayStation controller to input these codes. We actually find a secret that reveals a giant PlayStation controller in the wall. All of this is original to the Hoaxer port. I've seen some people think that this was just how it was in the original game. It's not, and everything that follows with this secret is original here. But it's still really cool, and I'll talk about it once we get to that Zen bonus mission. Hey, do you remember when Barney found that chum toad in his locker and he needed to shoot that box like 1,000,000 times to get it open? The bastards did it again with this one, and somehow a lot less people are talking about it. I wonder why. This Barney had snacks in him. This didn't make it into the Hoax report for some reason. I'm confident that if they were able to find the code that lets you play Half-Life Uplink on this copy, then they probably found this and just didn't port it for whatever reason.
Halfway through level 3, lots of civilian resistance. Target has not been acquired.
You know, it totally slipped my mind that John St. John also voices some of the Marines in these Gearbox Half-Life games. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that Dr. Rosenberg is in cahoots with these guys, which makes sense. Why else would he would have called the military? I almost called them the police. I mean, same thing, kinda. Hey, John St. John 2, I'm such a fan. Want to see my bug collection?
Dude, look at these peas!
Dude, yeah, the peas texture is concave.
Please give me a full plate of peas.
Peas.
Thank you.
Oh no, the soldiers found the Gordon's room. Oh, thank God they didn't touch the tissues. Man, this entire library is crawling with soldiers, and yet the one surviving Barney that we need to find in this level is just across the hallway? These guys aren't very thorough.
Yeah, I've got the clearance codes to the security station. Let's go.
This guy reading my mind? Is that why he wears that shiny helmet? I should have known the Barneys were using Cerebro this whole time. That's how they knew where we were.
We have to find the secret bookcase.
But I'm not leaving until... Hey, you think there's future for us at the end of all this?
Hey, Barney, not right now. Let's get your ass out of here, and then you can hit on me, okay? Thanks, babe.
This door is locked.
Gee, I couldn't tell. It's okay, man. I can figure this out on my own. It's real easy. First, you just blue screen this computer, and... How did he do that?
I presume you've got the all-clear codes for the satellite delivery rocket?
Sure do. You got a plan?
Yes. Once the satellite is in orbit, we can orchestrate a resonance reversal that may seal the rift between Earth and the alien world.
Wow, Professor X makes it sound so easy. Oh my god, this Cerebro joke earlier was not meant to play into that. That's a total coincidence.
What are you two doing here? Soldiers everywhere.
Please tell me that wasn't the Barney that I just spent the whole last level trying to rescue. I mean, it would be totally on brand if it was. Half-Life isn't above killing my friends in front of me, but it means a lot less when it's a gearbox doing it. Don't mind me, I'm just admiring this Osprey from a distance, which, you know, I never have to worry about again because we're not gonna fight this thing, I swear. I'm not sure if these are oversights or a deliberate change by the modding team, but if we disregard the Easter egg in Chapter 5, then Code Green is the most drastically altered chapter when we compare the game to the PC mod. In the original, you can't break or even jump over this table until the Barney on the other side is killed. But on the PC mod, and especially in Sven, we're able to jump over it and even save the guy. But that's not even the most perplexing change made to this chapter, though this is exclusive to Sven co-op. So both players need to go into this elevator shaft so that they can make their way through the vents, watch another Barney die right in front of them, and then break these boxes so that they could get this door open. But the way back into the vents to get out of the elevator shaft is too low for both players to just jump up into, so one of them needs to act as a footstool so that the other player can make their way around, open the door, and then open the elevator doors so that both players can reconvene. The players aren't separated from each other for too long, it's a pretty standard co-op puzzle. But the first time I played this was on Sven co-op, and I'm not sure if it was a change made to the map geometry or if I can just simply jump higher, but you can jump right from this little ledge here up into the vent, basically nullifying that whole part of the co-op puzzle. This is fine, I don't have a problem with this at all, but just imagine my confusion where this solution of just jumping up into the vents is how I thought you were supposed to do this, and then going back and playing the hoax report and just being stuck for the longest time because I had no idea I needed both players in there to get one of them out. In retrospect, I should have totally understood what to do. That little divot in the wall there basically just screams to have a player get on their knees and get stepped on. But like everyone who's wanted to step on me could tell you, I've always been pretty oblivious. Anyways, if you ever wanted to see how brutal the soldiers can be in Sven co-op, Code Green is probably the best example you're gonna get.
Oh, these guys are really leaning into the grenades right now.
Oh, I have a satchel. Oh my god! Think he shot a fucking SMG alt fire at me? Oh!
Yep.
Where's your corpse? Oh,
that
shit.
is exactly what happened.
Your corpse has to be somewhere. Is this the
I'm
giblet?
sure it's in many places.
Shit. Wait, hold on. There was a checkpoint. Never mind. Okay, I know that none of you saw this coming, but I lied to you. This Osprey is actually required to be killed because a grunt will not show up to open the doors to let us leave this area until we take it down, which does feel a little bit sloppy, but I think that's because this boss fight wasn't even intended for this stage for a good chunk of development. In fact, this level was basically a last-minute addition to the game because of last-minute story changes. Playing this fight in Sven gave me a bit of insight to what's going on here. If you shoot the rotors on the Osprey, it actually dies faster. It's like it's a kind of weak point or something.
Jesus!
I got the helicopter.
Holy shit! Good
I
work.
used nothing but gun. It was actually very weak.
And when that don't work, use more.
Use more gun. Cost $200,000. Okay, so we were given the codes for the satellite override off screen, in between levels. But the only way to put them into the computer is if we're currently in lockdown. I'm assuming that they don't mean that the facility is under attack style lockdown, and more that it's like a airlock sort of deal, that security needs to be present for these codes to be input. But this is translated into the game by one of the players needing to activate lockdown on this computer outside of the room while the other player is inside the room, keeping them separate so that the guy that's inside the room can activate the computer. You know in movies when you see those guys use 2 keys to activate like the nuclear launch codes? I assume it's like that, which is really fitting considering where this facility ends up.
It looks like the signal is coming online. Stand by. I'm getting the all-clear signal. You've done it.
Okay, can we get this on a rail, please? Thank you.
Hello, Labs.
What the fuck that was? That was... Oh, good, right into a sewer.
Do you think he sees that too? This stage has a small series of secrets that I think really take advantage of the level-to-level structure that this game has. There's 3 sets of explosive barrels scattered around the map that can be pushed to a nearby hole in the wall that can be blown open for loot. Oh wait, did I say 3? I meant to say 2. The last barrel doesn't open anything. I think it's just here to kill this soldier. Why can't I move this?
Dumb bitch. They thought they could have gotten me. Just climb through the steam. What the fuck?
I set it to green.
I turned it from green to red. Oh, there's this lever here. I didn't see this.
Wait, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I flipped this.
What?
I flipped that to red, and then I didn't realize there's a wheel right here.
Why can't... Did I mention that we came down here to get a nuclear butt plug to plug the Zen Rift? Or not. I'm sorry, sir, the plug is stuck and I can't afford another trip to the ER. For Black Mesa standards, that's surprisingly safe. Guess I'm gonna have to pump this thing up there myself. This game was so ahead of its time.
My equipment tells me that the displacement beacon is up and in working order. Good job. Come upstairs to Gamma Labs. We haven't much time.
Oh, I know the Gamma Labs. That's where the Hulk got his powers.
Up those stairs, you can access the alien quarantine labs. I fear that the scientists working there may have been overcome by the very creatures they were studying.
Remember when this guy sounded like he was having an epiphany when he asked the aliens might not be here by accident? How could he say that and still know about the alien quarantine labs? It is literally in the name.
We need you to get inside those labs and activate a beam matrix which powers the displacement beacon. You won't find much help in activating the system, but I'm sure with your training it will be a simple matter.
Did he just say beam matrix? Because I'm starving. If you've got enough Half-Life under your belt, then you should know exactly what to expect from the quarantine labs. It's a sort of diet questionable ethics. Story beats that really hammer home the are we the true monsters sort of feeling, with a bunch of explicit experiments and all that kind of stuff that really make us feel empathetic for the beings sent from Zen. And Decay does offer us a new perspective of these, or at least some new goodies to entertain the lore fanatics. Like this implication that it's the shackles on the Vortigons that give them their own power, or at least it's a conduit for their power. I guess someone at Gearbox forgot the memo that the alien slave enemies are, you know, slaves. To their credit though, we never see a Vortigon use their powers without one of these until Half-Life 2. I don't even think they're called Vortigons until Half-Life 2. But man, I feel so bad for this bull squid here. It's still alive and probably conscious while getting its stomach pumped for bile. We already knew Black Mesa was fucked up, but getting a scripted sequence where we hear the animal, like, squeal in pain, it hits a little different, you know? Alright, I need something to cleanse my palate here, something to move on from animal cruelty. Do you like color matching puzzles? It's okay, don't panic, we're just mixing primary colors. If you want to get technical, they're only subtractive primary colors, which, you know, doesn't make sense scientifically, but that's what we gotta do. We were all told growing up that red and blue make purple, and that yellow and blue make green, and that yellow and red make orange. One of the players needs to stay behind and mix the colors appropriately, and then the other player needs to make sure that the right color laser goes into the right color hole. To my fellow artists that are watching this, please just suspend your disbelief for just a moment and ignore that by combining blue and yellow light you technically make white. Yellow and blue only make green when we're working with subtractive primary colors, but I know that most of us weren't taught this in school. This is totally useless information, but if you want to be an artist and you didn't know, I hope you found that helpful. Alright, you want to see some crazy shit? I'm gonna be totally honest when I say I had to look up a guide to figure this one out. If every other game in the Half-Life 1 quadrilogy has taught me anything, it's that the player needs to lead an NPC to interact with these terminals because we can't use them unless they're broken. Do you remember that list of clearances in the manual that we took a look at in the last video? I thought maybe that this was a hint that maybe Dr. Cross or Gina Gross or Green, Colette Green, could actually interact with these. That's not the case. And believe it or not, the part of the game that was supposed to tell you that you could interact with these was cut from the game, but they left this part in. If we go back and look at some really early footage of Half-Life Decay, you can see the scanners from the beginning of the game that each of the individual players needs to go into for Dr. Cross and Dr. Green, and there's a retinal scanner on the wall that the players are supposed to interact with. This was a deliberate deviation from the Half-Life chain of command to tell the player that, hey, you can interact with these in this campaign. The level was reworked and retooled, as all levels in video games are, and I guess someone thought, hey, yeah, we don't need this here, and took it out of the level without realizing that this was supposed to teach the player how to interact with one of these at the near end of the game. That is fucking hilarious. So we got the bean matrix up. I just said bean matrix again. Okay, first time I said it was on purpose, but that time I just got beans on the mind, I guess. We finally got the beam matrix up and running, and now we're ready to close that Zen rift with all that equipment and resources that we've amassed throughout the campaign. Not equipment for us though, aside from like the 2 weapons we've picked up along the way. Please ignore that the graphics actually look kind of presentable right now. I was playing Metal Gear Solid 2 and forgot to turn the downscaling back on, or upscaling back off. You know what I mean.
Yo, that's the thing that GLaDOS puts you on at the end of the test chamber before you go on fire.
That's the Twitch chat ride.
So we've got our stage set for our final boss fight here, now that we've got to activate our nuclear butt plug to close the rift. First, we need to flip these 3 switches one at a time to bring out these giant Zen crystals that charge the beacon. As soon as each crystal is powered up, we gotta start the next one, lather, rinse, repeat for like 5 minutes while you fight nothing but Vortigons. That's not an exaggeration, there's nothing but Vortigons until the boss shows up, except right before this mission, they gave us a larger arsenal, including a rocket launcher, and the AI doesn't have a concept of, you know, saving the really powerful weapons for later for when we need them. Have you ever seen that video of those bakers watching their bread get turned into a bread bowl right in front of them? That's how I felt watching my AI companion use up all of that RPG ammo right in front of me.
Wait a minute, the large thing was a fucking manta that drops other enemies?
A single Zen grunt.
It's amazing. This is great.
There's something big coming! Yeah, that brand new boss fight that I was telling you about is actually just a repurposed alien craft from the base game. Sorry, I know that's really anticlimactic of me to bring up, but I mean, that parallels how I felt seeing this thing for the first time. Looking at this thing's name in Sven Co-op, it actually shows up as Boyd, which I'm pretty sure is an oversight, and this is me pointing out a nitpick that I doubt anyone would even care to notice if they knew, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. In Half-Life 1, the Boyds were these group of Zen birds that would fly around in the background. The only significance here is that Boyd, B-O-I-D, is the name of an AI program written in 1986 trying to capture the complexity of a group of objects flying together and trying to stay in formation. I bring this up because this alien ship that we're fighting at the end of Half-Life Decay is not a Boyd, so either someone at Gearbox just wasn't in on the joke, which I have no doubt is the case, or this was an oversight when bringing these maps to Sven Co-op. And that whole thing is probably more interesting than this entire boss fight because holy shit, this boss fight fucking sucks. If you're playing this on PC, then you're probably gonna take this thing down before it could finish a single lap around the place because I don't know, its damage numbers are lower. Maybe it's because I have better aim, but I literally have lock-on on PS2, so I don't think that's the case. But in the original hardware, this thing is tanky as hell, which is especially a problem once you find out how this final encounter works. You might think that this is a protect the objective sort of mission. Make sure that the thing doesn't die from all the enemies shooting at it, but that's not what's happening here. The only thing that could damage the beacon is the giant ship that's flying around the map. Every time it completes a lap, it'll zap the beacon once, and if you let it do that 5 times, then that's a game over. But unless you fail this encounter multiple times, you're probably not even gonna find this out, which is exactly how I figured this out, with a little bit of accidental cheating from Sven Co-op, because I could just look at it and see how much health it has, and then notice, hey look, it drops by 100 power every time the Boyd zaps it. What I'm trying to say is that I died to this thing a lot when I played it on the PS2. Shut the hell up, Dr. Keller. Also, are you kidding me? Oh, she's enjoying this way too much. Get ready to flip that switch. Woo. You did it.
Good job, Gordon. Flipping that switch and all.
It's not bad enough that the boss fight sucks, it's that you also have to wait 5 minutes through Vortigons to even fight it again if you die. Whatever, we killed it, and now we've got all the crystals up to 100%. Dr. Keller, it's time for you to hit that resonance reversal. I want to go home.
You must hurry. We can't keep the portal open much longer.
Wait, what the fuck is Calhoun doing here? Why did he just get impaled with a light beam? Was that us? Are we passing through him? Or more realistically, is that why he was stuck in some kind of harmonic flux at the end of Blue Shift? I guess that's kind of neat. Okay, for this moment I'm about to bring up, I'm actually really embarrassed at how much I like it, but after we're bumped back to Earth and see everything explode, the game does this cut to black right as the Zen crystals shatter, and there's just something about the timing of it and how it cuts off the audio that feels weirdly artsy, and I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something about the cut that I really love, and I hate how hard I'm thinking about something that was probably not even intentional.
Gina? Colette? You'll be all right. You were caught for a moment there in a harmonic reflux. It's one of the swirling eddies in the space between two displacement event currents. Although I can't imagine who is creating the other current.
Keller is so goddamn inept, he didn't even realize that Rosenberg is doing all this shit right under his nose. Yeah, lots of good, all that sitting at the computer, did ya? Oh god, I sound like my mom. Amazing, then Blue Shifts.
I need to inform you that my screen right now says, Ball's invincible.
Although I can't imagine who is creating the other current. But it doesn't matter now. Rest, my friends. We did it.
Yep, so that was Half-Life Decay, ending in a way that kind of explains why Adrian Shepard was exclusively fighting Race X beings after Gordon had already left for Zen. And you know what? Good for them. They actually tried and managed to succeed to close the portal here. Sure is nice of them to conveniently not talk about the place getting nuked right after. If I had to grade the game in some capacity, I'd say it's at least on par with Blue Shift, but when it comes to multiplayer and single-player games, both are approached with different game design philosophies that make it a bit hard for me to be critical here. My specialty is with single-player experiences, and a lot of my criticisms are less creative criticism and more so personal preference. But as a Half-Life fan, I really do think that it's worth your time just regarding what it adds to the canon and overall franchise, which I think today in the current year of 2023 is really the only reason that you should revisit that game today, unless you have some personal nostalgic connection to it. That said, we're not done quite yet. As you might recall me saying in this video, there's actually a 10th mission within Decay that is a little tricky to unlock. Both players need to A-rank each mission of the game. It doesn't matter if only one character has A-ranked it, they both need to. I remember reading somewhere that both players can get like 15 kills and that basically guarantees an A rank. Don't quote me on that though, because that's not how I unlocked it. By going into the input cheat code menu and then dividing up the Konami code between both controllers, you can unlock every mission in Decay to be played from the get-go, including this secret 10th mission. And when I say that you divide the Konami code between both players, you end up having player 1 press up twice and then player 2 presses down twice. You get the idea. This is where that elaborate secret is that I mentioned before that was added into the hoax report. By finding 3 sets of PlayStation button combinations hidden across the map and inputting them into that giant wall controller, a pair of displacement cannons from opposing force spawn on Gordon's bed, where using its alt-fire teleports you to an entirely unique segment where you follow a scripted zombie on its way through Black Mesa. If you kill the zombie, you completely break the sequence, so you gotta keep that in mind. But if you did everything correctly and follow this zombie as far as he can go, then the G-Man will walk by a glass door with another button combination trailing behind him, and entering that into the controller on the wall will unlock that final Vortigern mission without having to A-rank every stage. Now, if you're wondering why you can't just load into a map via console, hoax user thought of that, requiring you to finish the previous stages or else you're booted from the map about 5 seconds after loading into it, though you can get around this if you really wanted to by renaming the map files. Zen attacks, like Decay itself, is only just okay once you get past the novelty of it. Yeah, it's pretty cool that you get to play as a Vortigaunt, and they even come with their unique style of gameplay with a ranged attack and long-ranged attack that can vampire health from enemies regardless of which one you use to kill them with. This can turn the player into a melee fiend, letting you run right up to these soldiers and slap them in the nuts for a good HP refill. It has the potential to be a lot more fun, but the mission itself is kinda underwhelming. These two Vorts that we control actually have names, X-8973 and R-4913. The Half-Life and Portal Encyclopedia wiki mentions that light blue vent texture that you know from Office Complex, the same one that has the text Valve written on it, also has R-4913's name on it. But when I looked at the texture both in the original and PS2 releases, the texture says R-8146, which still is suspiciously close, but not the same. If anyone knows more about this that I'm just missing, please let me know. Regardless, even if this information is incorrect, that's probably more interesting than everything else in this level. This stage must have been part of a rejected Geico ad because it's so easy a caveman could do it. Oh, that's kind of relevant. Remember that Portal 2 ad that Geico did? I did not write that remembering that part. I wrote the caveman comparison because we're just here to collect rocks, specifically a Zen crystal to return back to the Nihilith. I mean, it's kinda neat that this also looks like the place where G-Man armed that nuke at the end of Opposing Force, but that could totally just be a coincidence. And if we just look at this as the final bonus mission as a fun way to cap off Half-Life for the PS2, yeah, that's pretty underwhelming, which is why I'm not ending it here just yet. By using your partner as a footstool to reach this ledge that you otherwise couldn't, you can find a cheat code printed on the wall that gives you access to Alien Mode, letting you play through the entire single-player campaign as a Vortigaunt. It is almost mind-boggling how much effort went into making this little side campaign variant work. I thought it was just gonna be as simple as, hey, here's a weapon swap, play through the whole game like this, but no, there's these little details that were changed and replaced that completely transformed the experience beyond just what you use to attack. Human characters speak in complete gibberish. You can't understand a lick of what they're saying. So true, Dr. Coomer. Barnacles won't latch on to you, just instead rubbing their flaccid tongue right across your face, but can still heal the player if you attack them, turning these clusters of barnacles into almost dedicated healing stations, which is nice because, you know, you can't use the HEV suit chargers anymore. Zen forces will still target you, which is a little disappointing at first, but I mean, if you think about it, this would have turned the game into basically a speedrunning slog with no enemies. It would have been kind of boring. The simple change of giving the Vorts these sort of leeching powers by taking health from enemies as you attack them already changes the dynamic a lot, but these other subtle changes really just hammer home that this is a completely different experience, encouraging a playstyle that lets you leap out of cover to ambush enemy targets with melee to slowly recover your health back. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think that this is more fun of a single player experience than Decay was. But you can't play through all of Half-Life 1's campaign. You'll still play through all of Lambda Core and still need to protect the scientist from getting killed by the controllers as he opens up the portal to Zen, which, because I was also playing this on difficult, was really hard, and I feel like I almost exploited the game just so I could get past this sequence, leaping up to the catwalk where the scientist is so that I could easily zap any controllers that were within range of the dude to do damage to him. But trying to get off of this platform made me realize that there's some invisible walls here that I think were supposed to keep me out. As soon as you get to Zen, the moment you come out of that portal, your control is taken from you and you're greeted by 4 Vortigaunts that celebrate your arrival home. That is goddamn adorable, and I can't think of a better way to cap off our time with Half-Life for the PlayStation 2. What the fuck? Thanks for making it to the end of the video. While you're here, be sure to check out Crubcast. It's a new podcast that me and my friend Kevin Goldenbolt have put together, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. If you want to join this list of names off to the side and join the Discord, then pledge a minimum of $1 a month over to my Patreon, and if you pledge $10 or more, I'll even read your name out loud in the next video, alongside names like Luce and Josh Gourmet. Thank you everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.